Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. All right, it is currently 1:16 a.m. And what I captured images of is this is pursuant to the ongoing terrorism while the demon possessed, because this is the ongoing condition of the entity while they are engaging in federal stalking. And so this is also what you're documenting, which is pursuant to what is federal stalking by this entity that is monitoring. This is harassment by the entity, all right? And so I'm going to speak to what the Upland Police, I'm sorry, I'm not in Upland, excuse me. I am in Ontario, and the Ontario Police are engaging in using their sirens, bleeping or blurping, however you want to describe it, just sounding their siren like boop, 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 doing it just like that on Euclid Avenue at 12 a.m. This is audible activity in directed light while the entity is listening to me sleep, engaging in the creation of audible activity in directed light, doing so to disturb sleep, interrupt sleep. This is what I'm documenting at 4 o'clock in the morning, what the state does with the train. The state was doing that with police sirens while they're stalking. All right, they're sitting around listening to me breathe, knowing when I'm awake, when I'm sleeping, listening to that, engaging in that sort of stalking conduct. And this is ongoing documented conduct by law enforcement. The stalkers and police vehicles would do the same thing when I was sleeping in my car, and they would drive in circles, sit in their vehicles under the fake sun in the morning at when I was parked at 714 North Vine, and they would repeatedly sound sirens while they do when I was sleeping. They would do it while I was asleep. The moment I woke up, the sirens would stop. Stalking with activity. These are demons wearing law enforcement vehicles, engaging in this harassment while they are hostile to everything that I'm documenting, everything I'm publishing, and what I'm going to continue to publish until they are going to federal prison. And I'm documenting all the ways in which they engage in harassment and stalking. At 1:16 a.m., I'm capturing images of the state stalking via helicopter. Flying direct, that was helicopter, and that's Satan that knows what I'm about to say, sounding a sound of a horn. Understand, everything you're hearing is deliberate in the same way that the environment is deliberate, okay? Directed light, while a demon is stalking in traffic, sounding their horn, okay? Like I said, at 1:16 a.m., the state is stalking with helicopter, which is amplified audible activity in directed light, flying over me, in perfect alignment with me, which is what you will see in the images. And as I begin taking pictures, the state then gets out of view and flies over the center of the roof of the museum. And was in the process, and that's what you see, flying in a straight line over my head. As I take images, as everything else, the entity that is aware that it's being documented engages in flying, that is diverting by flying to the side instead of continuing to fly. They still remain in relevant position. I am describing what is fleeing to get out of sight from my camera while they are stalking, again captured visibly, stalking with a helicopter. Another mode of harassment while the entity is listening to me breathe and sleep, which is also the communication of hostility while this demon-possessed entity is engaging in such methods of audible activity, indirected light, stalking as one, all right, criminal facilitation while the demon-possessed, the people of the state are monitoring to that with communication devices and engaging in what is harassment while they're stalking at the museum. It is 1:19 a.m. That's P.O.C. This is helicopter activity at 1:25 a.m. It is immediately following my publishing the taking images of the state visibly flying over by helicopter, and it's 1:25 a.m. and this is the same entity that's not going anywhere. Okay, it is stalking, remaining where I am, and sounding helicopter activity. That is the intent to engage in terrorism while they are monitoring the documentation. And this is ongoing documentation speaking to that, going to that prosecution. That is deliberate activity, which is also occurring in what is directed light. The entity is going absolutely nowhere. That's helicopter activity, nonetheless, at 1:25 a.m. at the museum, P.O.C. (1:50 a.m. in directed light), and that is amplified audible activity. And that is under the guise of what is Union Pacific. This is the forum and cooperating and engaging in stalking and activity creation with the state. Union Pacific. And you're hearing that volume, that's on a microphone, that's amplification. And that's the same train that the state creates audible activity inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern. All right, and I documented while I'm at that location, and the state engages in this same train, which is amplified right now, and it is necessarily amplified. First of all, second of all, it's in directed light. Third of all, that is artificial activity. All right, the state is playing the sound of a tape. It's the same conduct, sounding sirens, sounding a helicopter, sounding train activity in directed light. And what you're also going to pay attention to is the fact that that train is not going to be heard at 630 North Fern. It's the same conduct when I'm documenting at those venues. All right, this is P.O.C. It's 1:51 a.m. License 06129B2. It is 8:15 in the morning. 8RSC 899, I believe. 7PNU 492. 7HUG 429. 7U06282. 5KBY012. 8PSC314. 7PNU 463. Ontario Fire. And Amtrak 84702R2. JG and a heart and a number 4. Omnitrans. Omnitrans is systematic, and this is very often the case. But Omnitrans is present in relevant position right now, proceeding on on Holt Boulevard, going west on Holt Boulevard, under the same exact fake sun and the same exact directed light. License plate 5CJB179. (7ZNN629) 8YFZ767. (8BMY098) 6659 I believe, substantially similar. All right, and not only are they stalking, 7MEV460, terrorism is inherent to the P.O.C. Directed light while they are far away. Understand this Holt Boulevard Street where the health building is. Directed light across the building while they're driving by. LEGANS, LEGANTS. That's what both of those license plates. Two different cars with the same license plate. 5GDZ151. THX4GRC. 6YVC821 1591755 Ontario Police Vehicle 1023. 6VLE181. All right, just showing ongoing directed light, double shadows. These demons that are crossing path: 4CLT423, 7XRB925, even though I've already established it, 8RXM752, 7VGG873. All right, and Southwest Airlines, Delta Airlines, Alaska Airlines, 60FT170 do not have any form whatsoever in the exact same environment where they are stalking and demonstrating demon possession, while they are acting pursuant to the same exact pattern of conduct, contributing to the same exact environment, acting pursuant to the same demonic behavioral pattern, engaging in the ambush conduct, crossing path by the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, flying over my head while I'm being molested with that which is directed light, while the fake sun is over my head, and very targeted as to where they are flying, when they are flying, and as they do so, pursuant to what is the ongoing amplified audible activity. While I'm showing you that ongoing pattern that is already established, these are demon-possessed stalkers who are intentionally present while light is moving across buildings and on sidewalks and on asphalt. What the people of the state of California are already doing is already established, and it is clear, all right? And what they were doing in Upland is clear. What they're doing in Fontana and Los Angeles is clear. The same exact documented pattern of conduct. You are speaking to what is terrorism and dragging down the demons that are driving those commercial airlines planes, all right? That's exactly what they are doing and demonstrating. 8XFB108, license 8UTE 906 158 2424 Omnitrans. I'm sorry, not Omnitrans, but a third party molesting with Ontario PD. All right, those are demons. Ontario Police is so pathetic. They're so pathetic, and you see their priority with me. That's what that's about. It is currently 8:22 a.m. And they continue to demonstrate what it's already. They're going to federal prison. Ontario Police Department is speaking to what is going to be a disbanded police department. The state's fake sun documented over their department, speaking to the criminal entity that it represents, that it is. All right, they're criminals wearing law enforcement uniforms, waiting a long time to be shown to be the psychopaths bearing those badges that they are unworthy to wear. They are a stain to law enforcement, all right, to the very Constitution. And they are engaging in criminal facilitation with demons such as 7YUJ863, sexually molesting me while speeding off under a fake sun with ongoing real-time knowledge of what I'm stating. That's pathetic, okay? And they are engaging in that conduct with entirely focused on everything that I'm saying. And the P.O.C is already established. I'm documenting that's what they just did again. They're pathetic. 8PUV821. All right, and they are entirely focused on me. And let me be clear, because I'm documenting and I'm prosecuting and I'm putting in federal prison, those are violent sex offenders, because that same focus, that same absence of coincidence, that same tracking of every movement, that same focus on every word, that same repetition of the ongoing impossible occurrences in the first place and then repeating it as I'm speaking of it, that's not a coincidence. Those are demons that are focused. That same focus, again, let me be clear, while I am in a private space and my panties are down and they are listening and monitoring and engaging in the same exact surveillance and hovering stalking conduct, engaging in that conduct with sex offenders who like to molest, such as 8KVM472, because that's exactly what it demonstrates. And that pattern of conduct, that focusing, that tracking conduct, that pathetic and disgusting and predatory conduct is exactly what goes on inside of the private space. All right, it is 8:24 a.m., 1404991, sex offender, that is Omnitrans, directed light all across the road while they're driving underneath the fake sun, which is on the passenger side of the bus. All right, 880Z7X, I believe. All right, demons filling the plaza, B&G Plaza, where the state's fake sun is. And that is bus number 1331. Demons patrolling in traffic, monitoring to that flashing light Omnitrans creates. 461X H, I believe. And it is 8:24 a.m. All right, 8F98499, 8H63190, 6DFT170, 6WHF042, 4CLT423, 7Y22757, 5ELK C61, 6 U.S.T 093, 8 WFN 307, 8 TCH 575. And let's also be clear, what you see clearly in the images on the Ontario Police under that, which is clearly not the sun. That's why I take those images showing you what they are underneath while they are clearly stalking in the path. You're looking at a demon that is engaging in what is crossing of path with real-time knowledge of where I am moving inside of the library as I go to the exit, and demonstrating demon possession not only on the environment that they're in, but you're talking about being in its essence, that fake sun, that whole object directly over the Ontario Police vehicle, all right, while they're in direct alignment with me. This is at 3:01 p.m. and I'm in entirely different cities while the state is keeping that same object that's supposed to be the sun over the ceiling of the Upper Public Library. I've already demonstrated this. You're looking at what is not sunlight, it's engineered light. You're looking at what is maintaining presence as I go from one venue to another in an entirely different city. It's already clear that this is the P.O.C. You're looking at what is literally Satan in operation, animating the Ontario Police Department specifically. But let me be clear, these are just demons that wear police uniforms. These are demons that are driving around in their cars and driving around in commercial vehicles. All right. This is a mutual hostility, and it is pathetic. All right. It is literally the conduct of the defeated, and they are engaging in what is tallying up a very intense prosecution, because this is that which is exceeding the grounds for federal prison under existing federal law. All right, they're going to federal prison because of the multiple acts of kidnapping and the ongoing terrorism and the sex offenses, the perpetual sex offense that is federal stalking amongst a demon-possessed entity for a term of years, okay? You're talking about engaging in criminal facilitation of kidnapping, engaging in criminal summoning, which is facilitation of kidnapping. You're talking about those who are in the courts engaging in that, going to federal prison. 6 U.S.T 093, I said it before, Lisa Rogan is going to prison. I said that, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And what the Ontario Police Department continued to engage in illustrates what Lisa Rogan was participating in with knowledge and intent. While Southwest Airlines flies over my head, a fake sun is over my head, directed light is molesting my body, while those demon-possessed Ontario police officers drive by with simultaneity to that impossible, ongoing, and unnatural occurrences. All right, with the psychopath's knowledge of what I'm documenting. That's why they're going to federal prison. That's why you disband the Ontario Police Department, okay? 6PQZ175, and by the way, like I've already shown, the fake sun, because that's clearly not the sun is never going to be captured over the edge, over my head, the same fullness of that object like you saw at 3:01 p.m. while I'm at the entrance of the Ontario Overfamily Community Library. It's never going to appear over the Ontario Police Department at 2500 South Archibald, 8 PUV 821, because it remained there at my entrance before 10 o'clock. All right, and it's still there as I exit to show you what is the impossibility of removing the shade underneath that humongous tree in front of 235 North Laurel. That was on the west side of that tree, not on the east side of that tree where the entrance of the Ontario Library is, Ontario Overfamily Community Library, let alone that's never going to occur where you're remaining over the ceiling of the Upper Public Library. But this is common sense. And so this is why you have a police department engaging in, not only are they already caught as stalkers and sex offenders and demon-possessed ones, you're talking about engaging in federal crimes such as federal stalking with the people of the state. You're talking about engaging in kidnapping to try to conceal that. You are talking about what is revealing that hostility by those demons wearing those law enforcement uniforms while they're engaging in ongoing sexual violence. Mad because policy has been created in order to restrain those demons that are engaging in such lawlessness. All right, under the guise of being a police officer, HCDM 416. That's what you're witnessing. All right, that's because that's the reality of it. And let me be clear, that is what Satan acts like. Satan is a spirit. You cannot see him. You'll see it on the officer. You'll see it demonstrated through that officer's conduct. And Satan is operating over a group mutually at the same time. They are of one demonic mind. That's why you have Southwest flying over my head while a fake sun is right over my head, while I'm being molested with that which is not sunlight. I have two shadows that are in front of me, while you have what is also driving by in totally disconnected conduct of light that's not sunlight streaming across, covering my body. While I happen to be speaking of very damning events that I've documented about those same actors, including the Ontario police, who go out of their way to cross path while those impossible occurrences occur again seconds later. That's why you have that. It's called demonic activity, and they're going to federal prison. You're going to disband that police department. It is a harm to society. 8 POJ 944 is demon possessed. All right, but disbanding the police department is one step in the absolute right direction. You're talking about my revealing that which is criminal conduct that has been in operation for a very prolonged amount of time. Revealing not only a state system, but revealing the public corruption and the hypocrisy, the despicable reality of such law enforcement department agencies, such as the Fontana Police Department, the Rialto Police Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Ontario Police Department, 8P12439, 6RXY460, 8PUV821, the Chino Police Department, all of them that I have documented, all under the fake sun, engaging in what is kidnapping, facilitation of kidnapping, maintaining relevant positioning, monitoring, engaging in participation in a fictitious case, monitoring with the minions that fill the courthouse, which is the state facilitating venue under the fake sun, 7NBR 741. I'm sorry, 7NBR 974, and that is FedEx. Hovering over the plaza right where I'm at Transit 5DYD090, very targeted where they're at. And let me show you the fake sun, because that's exactly where FedEx is flying, where the fake sun is, over my head. Okay? But we already know that. I've captured the same very negative campaign for FedEx while they're stalking in their vehicles under the fake sun, stalking in their planes under the fake sun, while directed light is shooting across the place, all over the place. That's not anything positive, and that's the direct evidence against the people of the state. And those demon-possessed stalkers flying planes and flying those commercial vehicles are engaging in what is that system, and it's referred to as what is stalking, and doing it by a commercial means on behalf of the government. License plate. Alrighty, you're looking at what is directed light. That's the same directed light that they're continuously molesting with. And doing so while you're driving in the shade. 70PB162 is not casually present. They are present to engage in that terrorism and engage in that sexual violence while they are under the fake sun. This is why they are maintaining presence. 8CDM416. That same directed light you saw beside 7EPB162's car is along the wall while 8CM416 drives by. Absolutely impossible light. They're demons that are monitoring together. All right, and they're in a demonic environment, and that's what's tethering them, and that's what the Ontario police are engaging in an ongoing molestation of my body with. All right, monitoring with Southwest Airlines, monitoring with the minions that I'm identifying by license plate, monitoring with FedEx, okay? They are the demon-possessed, and they are absolutely focused on me. It is entirely pathetic. As pathetic as it is, you are analyzing that as the impermissible threat. This is terrorism by a police agency engaging in federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2261A. That is inherently designed to intimidate, to harass. That's exactly what you're doing when you're molesting someone's body with impossible light activity. That's exactly what you're doing when you are stalking in the path in concert with the people of the state while that pattern of conduct is underway and the state is flying over your head in airplanes and helicopters on a daily basis and at night, just like I showed you at 1:16 this morning, while the state is stalking and amplifying audible activity, and while I remain molested with directed light. That is inherently designed to terrorize what the Ontario Police Department is engaging in and has been engaged in, all right? And while doing so, repeatedly engaging in acts of kidnapping, which is obstruction of justice, while that documented pattern of conduct remained underway. You have what is and by remain underway, I mean the ongoing occurrence of what are triple and quadruple shadows of the sheriffs, of the inmates, of the medical workers inside of those state facilitating venues that were kidnapping me. This pattern of conduct continued. Those were demons engaging in kidnapping, trying to obstruct justice, while I documented them on those surveillance cameras inside of those venues. That's UPS flying over, hovering over the same venue. All right, that's P.O.C. at 8:34 a.m. You also have what is understanding the significance of disbanding when you are understanding what the government is engaging in federal stalking under Title 18, engaging in that which is exceeding that legislation. That legislation does not go far enough, and you're speaking to that which is the grounds for disbanding law enforcement as they are documented as the state. All right, you're talking about the irrebuttable presumption of public corruption upon establishing that pattern of conduct, and it includes law enforcement. They are inherent to that pattern of conduct, and you are also understanding, again, what is this about? The baseline is demon possession. This is what is wrong with the state of California. I'm showing you what are the demon-possessed, and they're engaging in criminal conduct. You're witnessing the demon-possessed that are working for UPS.
that are working for your neighborhood Starbucks, 7LIL654, 8SLK764, the demon-possessed that are working for the police department, the demon-possessed that are working at any restaurant you're at, wherever it is that you live, wherever it is that you work, the demon-possessed are surrounding. This is a state system, so that is speaking to a demon possession that is covering a state, and that is the reality of it. Whether you understand that or can fathom that or can accept that, it really does not matter, because this is established by the objective evidence. You're talking about a demonic environment, that which is not the sun. You need to understand stalking with the fake sun, which is already established as a scientific fact alone. I have unilaterally demonstrated the state of stalking with the fake sun, and you need to understand that's demonic. And that demonic environment is a direct correlation, a direct indication of what's wrong with 99969L2. All right, a demon-possessed stalker. That's why there's directed light streaming across my body and all across the surfaces while they are doing something that is as innocuous, seemingly, as driving by. Has nothing to do with the light that's trailing on the ground, 8WAH819, the same demonic activity. All right, that's what's tethering all of them together. That's how they are connected. They are in a demonic environment engaging in what is demonic activity. That is the demonstration of demon possession. So while you have what is the Ontario Police demonstrating not only hostility based on the knowledge that what I'm documenting, that's why they're hostile. And it's the same for third parties. That's why they know what I'm documenting, because they're psychopaths and they're stalkers doing the same thing when I'm inside of a private space, and they are failing at maintaining that role of being oblivious and not concerned. They're the stalkers that they are while they're demonstrating that hostility. They know exactly what I'm documenting, and I already established that. I documented what are those acts of harassment, which are, by the way, acts of admissions, all right, when they do so. 8 BMY098. You have what is demonstrating demon possession while Ontario Police is engaging in that molestation of my body, all right? 8 SLK764 is molesting again, all right, while they're driving by. Totally has nothing, this is never naturally occurring. Understand, this unnatural, this impossible, these terms, I mean, it is demonic. It's absolutely demonic. It's a demon that is engaging in this system that has been ongoing for a long time. And so you have what is also a demon that is furious at the fact that you are not, that you are aware of it. And I'm not only aware of it, I am publishing it to the masses, and I'm going to prosecute it. All right. Satan thinking that it is impervious because we are in the United States and it's constitutionally. Well, actually, that's not even why Satan thinks it's impervious. Satan, let me tell you what, and this is not me thinking I'm reading someone's mind. Those who are trying to nitpick, and I know that many minions that are anticipating a prosecution, that's what it is, and you're scared, are paying attention. This is not about being able to read someone's mind. This is 8EAH488. This is knowledge of what is the demonic character. All right. This is the ability to discern. All right. And that's how you're able to prosecute an entire entity that is practicing satanic conduct. And you're talking about a demonic spirit. And this is the false assumption that you would never be able to create a legal framework whereby demonic conduct is literally the criminal act where you're engaging in federal stalking. It's federal stalking riddled with, tainted by not ordinary criminal conduct. This is not just your baseline 18 U.S.C. somebody's monitoring you with the phone, somebody stepping out of line in sort of some agency. This is a government, first of all, and it's federal stalking. It's demonic activity while that demonic activity is accomplishing monitoring with communication devices. 5GBM 185. All right, directed light all across S.I.I.S liquor, all across the asphalt behind that vehicle, to the driver's side, and then the magnified size of the shadow of that vehicle, a demon, okay? And a demon is walking in the road, monitoring to that light activity, all right? That's called crossing path. His shadow is magnified in size while in operation of a communication device. This is a demon that's crossing path, creating light activity. Ongoing audible activity exists, and he is monitoring with a communication device while that demonic activity is underway, all right? This is the demon-possessed engaging in federal stalking. And you are talking about what are demons thinking that they could out in the natural appear normal. They don't, with magnified size of a shadow. You don't under a fake sun. You don't under what is directed light, and you're seeing what is the absolutely abnormal and unnatural environment that they're in. You're stripping those demons down to show them the psychopaths that they actually are, thinking that they could conceal this. And then you are also witnessing the psychopath that is demon possessed while it is demonstrating and exhibiting that hostility. That's what the Ontario Police Department is doing through its conduct, and that's how you know Satan. That's how you identify demons, by their deeds. 8 BMY 098, stalking entirely, the whole time monitoring while the demons are driving by and lights all over the S.I.I.S liquor, and on the asphalt, she's monitoring. 8 BMY 098, loitering in relevant position. All right. And you're hearing demons that are amplifying audible activity. That's the state. It's the same demon of Union Pacific. That's just a means of identifying. You're going to drag those companies as they engage in ongoing harassment. It's inherently harassing to stalk with the government, to stalk on behalf of that government, to engage in monitoring conduct pursuant to that demonic behavioral pattern. Every time you make a false move, all right, some abrupt movement, engaging in activity, that's inherently harassing. And this is harassing on a federal level. This is the government that's harassing. This is the government that is stalking. This is the government that's a sex offender, that's touching all over you while they're stalking you, having no right to do either, all right, having no business doing either. All right, this is the government that's engaging in terrorizing you while it's practicing satanic activity on a massive scale with the people of the state, demons who surround, engaging in repeating that demonic activity every single time, everywhere that you're going, including those uniformed as law enforcement, uniformed as emergency responders, uniformed as the fire department. They're demons. All right, and that's how you're getting to what is terrorism and understanding that, and this is necessary policy. These are demons that surround, they are in a demonic environment. First of all, that is what is tethering all of them, and there is no excuse. There's no exception from that. This is what you need to understand. Second of all, we're one to also not even be persuaded by that. This is not a need to persuade. It's a reality of the situation. You're going to prosecute not based on the feasibility with which one wants to be able to metabolize that information. It's based on what is the documented evidence. Stalking with that which is unnatural light is terrorizing. It is that which is demonic. It's demented. All right. It's malicious by psychopaths who are stalking together. That's what tethers them. That impossible occurrence occurring regardless of where you're at, regardless of who's in front of your face, that's how you know it's a system, and that's how you know every single last one of them are engaged in it together. 8YJZ250, okay? You have what is engaging in that same conduct via airplane, using their commercial vehicles and their private vehicles, using their private homes. Those are called venues. And those are called, that's called malice of demons who are engaging in the same exact system that's in operation ceaselessly. All right. You have what is speaking to, in other words, the underlying argument for the disbanding of law enforcement while they are practicing satanic activity. Those are psychopaths, dangerous ones who do not have any business in law enforcement. All right. This is not a situation where, OK, well, you understand their condition, because that's what's revealing when you're prosecuting one, because they're going to be prosecuted. You're talking about additional necessary acts as a matter of justice, which is disbanding. And I want to be clear, you cannot function and also abide by the Constitution, follow the laws. You're talking about an inherent psychopath that is demon possessed. And that is what is the condition, as I'm documenting, law enforcement in particular, engaging in what is demonic activity and the criminal conduct of federal stalking while in that condition of being demon possessed. I just want to be clear on that. It's impossible, and that's not going to happen. And it is necessary as a matter of justice to disband. They are engaging in rampant criminal conduct and have done so thinking under the guise that they would do so hypocritically. It is the most disgusting and despicable manner of hypocrisy. And it is terrorism while they do so. Doing so to the ordinary target individual and then convinced that they'll get away with it while they are engaging in criminal acts against that target individual and thinking that they're guarded by that police badge. That's the reality of what they're doing. The ordinary target individual, but for documentation, is subject to being kidnapped by that criminal, that demon-possessed stalker bearing law enforcement, all right, as their guise. That demon is hiding behind that badge, in other words. No, that demon has no business in law enforcement, and that's the bottom ground. And that agency, speaking to what is that demonic environment, that's exactly what is demonstrated with regard to the Ontario Police Department. That is speaking to the entirety of that San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. It is owned by what are the demon-possessed, operated by the demon-possessed, filled with the demon-possessed, all right? And that is speaking to what needs to be disbanded. All right. And so that is also what Ontario Police Department continues to demonstrate through its conduct. That's exactly what they continue to demonstrate. They continue to demonstrate that they are dangerous, sexually violent psychopaths with knowledge of every word that you're saying. This is not going to be a mystery. It's not a mystery now, but it's also not going to be a mystery when you're laying out what is the P.O.C. And the pattern of conduct as it unfolded, for example, on Saturday, November 3rd, 2021. What was known, what was the intent behind that, and what is the pattern of those demon-possessed stalkers as they engage in such conduct. It's routine. All right. They are hostile demons and sexually violent ones who want to touch you even more because they're mad about what you're documenting. All right. That's a whole other level of sexual violence and terrorism by law enforcement. All right. It is 8:44 a.m. That's P.O.C. That's UPS. That's FedEx. That's Southwest Airlines flying over my head while I'm being molested routinely under the fake sun at B&G Plaza. Hi, honey. That is P.O.C. All right. Group stalking at Charles Liquor. Paper plate AV31Y14. The VIN number is 14JGX48 S54C173552. This is a 2004 Jeep driven by a Latino male who's on the cameras inside of S.I.I.S Liquor, monitoring, group stalking, maintaining presence, that is, inside of the venue, and that's what all of the people of the state do. And let me be clear, you are not focused on reading a book or on a computer or stacking inventory or reviewing any Excel worksheet on the computers in directed light, where amplified activity is occurring pursuant where the ongoing demonic behavioral pattern is present, where the state's fake sun is over your venue. These are demons that are stalking inside of the venue, and it is an all-encompassing state system, and that is also what I have demonstrated. And this is a stalker inside of S.I.I.S Liquor, monitoring, maintaining presence inside of that venue, and goes inside of his vehicle and is now focused on a lotto ticket while he's listening to every word that I'm stating. That's the psychopath that's monitoring. It's P.O.C. 8EAH488. All right, that demon was sitting in their car while I captured that video of directed light, while the demon in the Jeep with the paper plate speeds off, and directed light is all over the place. That's a demon, okay? While they are sitting in their car, stalking in the path, monitoring to my phone use under the fake sun and in that directed light, okay? And the moment that I stop recording that video, they speed off and exit. They're monitoring 7WZZ064. All right, the same exact conduct repeated. The directed light across the S.I.I.S Liquor building, and that's exactly what Ontario police are doing, molesting my person. These are demons that do that. That is the pattern of conduct, by the way, and the demon-possessed are inherently sex offenders. 8 RIL 525. Their pattern of conduct, their demonic activity is sexually violent while they are stalking you, molesting you. All right, this is inherent to their P.O.C. 0824 3E3, and this so that they can monitor your communication device, monitor whatever it is that you're doing on the internet, on a phone, on your laptop, whatever sort of communication devices you're using. This is monitoring, all right, and it's by the demon possessed, and it is entirely that of a psychopath and a sex offender. License 6XFR761, 8UDI 410, 8MRC 697. 4INHEEL, 8KVY 203, 8BKV 383, 8JQM 224, 8XNE 995, 28086B3, PBA 44D, 5MBJ 905, 24664J1, 57688T2. Understand all that they are doing, including sitting behind me at the Omnitrans bus stop, is stalking in the path. So you're going to have to understand, wrap your mind around this. That is a demon that I'm documenting. This is just one example because this is the situation for all of them, including law enforcement. There is no exception. I'm revealing what the demons are doing in the state of California. 7VVG018. That demon was present inside of that S.I.I.S Liquor to maintain presence in the path. That's what group stalking is. All right, he is representing the government in doing so. This is terrorism, stalking everywhere that you're going, and ongoing presence and focus on me while I'm taking a picture of him. He's looking like he's scratching his lotto ticket, like he's focused on something else. This is a demon-possessed stalker who is focused on you and is present because you are there and is manning the path on behalf and in concert of the state that is aiming a fake sun and directed light all over the place around you. And that demon-possessed stalker, the moment that I'm ready to leave S.I.I.S Liquor, with which he is sitting there monitoring and focused on and tending to, the moment that I do, this is when he starts his ignition 8FNW066 at the time that he intentionally does, in order for that light activity to be maintained as I am moving. Understand the deliberation, not only at the moment that he's doing it, but the way in which that he does so, with knowledge of everything that I'm documenting about him and third parties, 6RHV, I can't really see that one, 6TLB, 603, I believe. That's the reality of what they are doing. 8KPL532, he's sitting there stalking, maintaining presence in the path as I get ready to leave the store. Then he starts his ignition, drives off, and you have directed light across the building, across the road, in front of me and all around me. You have what is terrorism while they do so systematically. All right, terrorism and sexual violence while actors such as the Ontario Police Department engaging and demonstrating the same demon possession. 8XFS200. The demons in the sky space of Southwest Airlines, FedEx, UPS, all right, Delta Airlines, Alaska Airlines. The same demonic activity, the same demon-possessed stalking conduct. 8XXE550. 8RTY567. All right, that's P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, 8:58 a.m. Alrighty, and that is called group stalking. Sitting at a bus stop, he's maintaining presence in the path behind me, and ongoing directed light shooting across the road. That's how ridiculous these are demons that surround. All right, sitting at a bus stop is no form. The bus is a venue. The bus driver is demon possessed. The patrons are demon possessed. The ongoing fake sun remains in the window of that bus, which is a venue, speaking to the ongoing pattern of conduct. And you got a demon possessed stalker sitting at that bus stop, stalking in the path, just like stalking in the path inside of the grocery store, or inside of the liquor store, for example, at B&G Plaza. 7YWR584. 80176A1. 5J90475. All right, and this is not in any way separate or distinct. It's the ongoing pattern of conduct. The state that was stalking by a helicopter at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts this morning. This is the same entity stalking by helicopter, while the demon-possessed actor in an Amazon Prime vehicle, exposing that company and revealing the reality of the condition of that company, the true nature, all right, of those running that company, engaging and monitoring American citizens and sexually violating them and terrorizing while they continue that determined effort to stalk and monitor based on the knowledge that they have of your documentation. And that's how, in the same way, Ontario Police Department is demonstrating that hostility. Understand the demons of Amazon Prime are engaging in that very show and exhibit of hostility while they're very aware of everything that I've documented about them. And it's not like I'm making it up. I'm documenting them while those demons engage in it. And those are demons that are furious about it. And that's what was documented last night. A demon-possessed stalker having zero form whatsoever in directed light. The state is stalking by helicopter. The state is always stalking by helicopter. That's the absence of any coincidence. And that is the ongoing P.O.C, including Amazon Prime, period. You have what is the creation of light activity, which is the demonic behavioral pattern, the flashing of light in what is engineered light. My double shadows are all around me. My shadow is appearing at a distance on the opposite side of the street, on that road sign, and the at B Street, where Amazon Prime is creating light activity. And I want to be clear, the state is flying over my head at 1:16 in the morning in a helicopter. And this is not separate from what I'm documenting right now. They're in directed light where Amazon Prime was engaging in that P.O.C. under the fake moon, by the way, where the state's fake sun is during the day. The state's fake moon over the museum, the state's fake sun over the museum, over me, all right? And moving with me over my head to that venue, past that venue of Metro 102. And this is what you're looking at. They're in the environment. Holding a package in your hand and wearing the Amazon Prime is nothing but incriminating and exposing that company, because you're talking about the same exact demon-possessed stalker. DMS 5, 7MQD 605. In the drive-thru, stalking in the path, in directed light and under the fake sun, Andy's Burgers at 310 East Holt Boulevard. It's no form. They're all monitoring together. 69423K2. And they're all demons that are listening at the same time. That's the psychopath. That's the reality of the demon-possessed. All right, so the breakdown of what these demon-possessed stalkers are doing now is they are monitoring and listening to every word that's going to be used against them in a federal court. 8FJX584. 6NWR868. All right, the demon-possessed are listening to what's going to happen to them while they are witnessing their own prosecution. All right, and that's not what Satan ever anticipated. 8BKH388, I believe. I can't really see that one though. 6XLA467. 6ZAA521. All right, so let me show you what is the demon-possessed in a drive-thru under the fake sun. All right, and that's what you're going to focus on is the environment. They are stalking in the path, and there is nothing that you're ordering at Andy's Burgers, a venue where the fake sun is over it, where directed light is all around it, all right, where the demons are maintaining presence in the path and creating light activity. And the demon working at Andy's comes out with his communication device. And this is seconds after I'm capturing that fake sun, and that's what you're going to focus on. That's P.O.C, and that's Satan that knows that he's being documented as well. Hi! Waving his hand like there's ain't nothing funny about being prosecuted. They know that they're being documented. And let me be clear, that immediate exit of that side door under the fake sun, as I take a picture, understand they know exactly what I'm documenting as I'm documenting it. Like I've already said that, but I'm just going, that's an ongoing demonstration of that. Ongoing knowledge, and that's going toward the prosecution of the sex offenders, including the Ontario Police Department, Amazon Prime, Medline, all right, FedEx, UPS, Southwest Airlines, and the entirety of the entity that I identify individually. 8DSK058, 8JIM473, 7WEN845, 7955, 1K1, 8951, 7K2, 8EGS135, Vaquero Trucking, 4LY3055 is the back license plate on that large white truck, Vaquero. 8YKF395. 6BMX540. 8PVB169. It's 9:04 a.m. by the way. Engineered light on the ground in between these demons that are sitting at his traffic light. And 6BMX540, not only if he's not an American citizen, they're worthy to be shipped out of here, they're also monitoring with little kids, engaging in sexual violence and terrorism and group stalking with the government with little kids in the car. 5888 OC2. All right, and those are the grounds for losing possession of such children. 79551K1, crossing path under a fake sun. Let me be clear. 56241T2. The ongoing fallacy that you can monitor and stalk and terrorize with the government and sexually violate an American citizen with your kids in the backseat and go home and make macaroni and cheese, those days are over. You will lose your children. You certainly will lose whatever position you have. 6ZMD679, and that's going to occur when you're prosecuted as a perpetual sex offender for a term of years. 8LWH473 on behalf of a government. 12399T2, as sexually violent as you can fathom. 1560780, City of Ontario. 8NIC054. In addition to those being shipped out of the country, engaging in such sexual violence and terrorism with children, all right? Regardless of their state, their condition of being demon-possessed or not, all right? 79551K1 is patrolling up and down the street and is entirely focused on me. As he drives up, he's stopping in the middle of the street. I'm not in the crosswalk. I'm not referencing him at all. I'm just speaking to what our demons. I'm already telling you, you already know that they're monitoring, but I'm letting you know what is the absolute focus that these demons have on me. This is the state making a U-turn over this plaza. JMR 419, that's Iowa. Oh, there you go. He's up there. Okay, the state is flying in a commercial-sized plane and made a U-turn over the plaza. And there you go. It's a little too small to see, though. I don't know that you can see that, but I'm going to go ahead and take a picture anyway. Flying back towards S.I.S Arena. Yeah, there it is. I don't know that you can see that, but I'm sure that there's some sort of technology with my documentation that those that are going to be handling this prosecution as well will be able to see that. Anyway, it's 9:06 a.m. Let me show you the fake sun over the Ontario Town Square townhomes. Because here I am right here. And I already showed you yesterday what is the state as I'm at this intersection, and then I'm at the other corner where the City of Ontario is molesting with light, and I capture an image of that sex offender while she's sitting in the car, where the state's fake sun is no longer at that intersection of B Street and Plum. It's right over me in the parking lot of the City Hall of the 280 North Lemon Apartments, where I capture her image. I capture her in operation of her communication device, and her is representing the City of Ontario, representing the municipality, engaging in ongoing federal stalking, terrorism, the demonstration of demon possession, which is terrorism while you're stalking, in concert with the government. It is 9:07 a.m. and that's the state's fake sun at the corner where the Ontario Town Square Townhome apartments are. Excuse me, that's redundant. The Ontario Town Square Townhomes is what they're referred to as. Alrighty, and you're going to want to remember the state's fake moon is Metro 102 and Ontario Town Square Townhomes run parallel to each other. You're talking about C Street. I'm sorry, you're talking about Lemon and C Street, and you're talking about Plum and B Street. And the state's fake sun, this is what I'm capturing. This is the common sense, and this is how you're prosecuting the entity. You're talking about psychopaths, and that's fine. They could be psychopaths all they want. Demon possessed. This is how you treat a psychopath. This is how you treat the demon possessed. All right, they have absolutely no presumption of legitimacy. You're going to prosecute by the evidence, period. All right, they have their constitutional right. You can say whatever you want, but there is a whole legal framework for how you're going to prosecute a government. And you're dealing with a psychopath that represents the government, that's stalking on behalf of a government, monitoring with them, and then thinking that they were going to get away with it. That's what obstruction of justice is all about, 8VHZ622. All right, and then not accepting the fact, not having realized the identity of what they are doing. You're not present in your First Amendment rights. This is not freedom of speech. You're not present on your own behalf. Because you are in what is a venue, you are at a venue, you're contributing to that environment, which is terrorizing in and of itself. You represent the state. Everything you say and do is going to be prosecuted accordingly. And you're going to be prosecuted accordingly for being a vicarious actor, a facilitator, with which I'm showing are the demon possessed. It's not coincidental. And by the way, common sense dictates you are not going to have a perpetual coincidence. It's called a pattern. All right, that's how that goes. You have what is prosecuting psychopaths and the demon possessed. This is literally the liar, that is Satan, animating the people of the state, showing them in their genuine, true conditions based on their conduct, which is established as a pattern, irrespective of their specific identity. All right, they are vicariously acting on behalf of a government in an ongoing perpetual environment that is absolutely unnatural to occur. Yes, it is irrespective of your identity. All right, and you are not present in your own behalf. You are not exercising any First Amendment rights. The government doesn't have any right to stalk, and the government is stalking through you. And you are not coincidentally contributing to that and present on behalf of that. That's why you show directed light. That's why you show the fake sun. That's why you show amplified audible activity. That's why you show all that. And that's going to be the dragging of the demon possessed in a federal forum. And you shall lose your kids. You don't have a right to do that. And that is exposing, regardless of those children being demon possessed or not. You're talking about contributing to the ongoing delinquency of minors, engaging in and teaching them, training them in the ways of Satan, because that's what it is. It's criminal conduct, though, nonetheless. And doing so, this is an ongoing training, if you will, in public corruption of the youth. All right. So this is not born, what I'm saying is not born of some sort of passion for the demon-possessed children in the state of California. That's not my concern, and I'm speaking as a matter of law and what is necessary policy. What is that which would be uniform and fitting for prosecuting a government, and how you prosecute the people of the state who are no longer going to be engaging in acting like it's normal society, thinking that you can monitor with the government, engage in sexual violence, and do so with your kids. Do so with a whole group of people that's going to be prosecuted like every other stalker, engaging in a group touching, engaging in touching with minors, engaging in however they engage in that system. That's exactly how you're going to be prosecuted, because that's what it is. All right, you're not getting away with touching while you're on the run, trying to obstruct a justice and cover up your license plate while you know you're being documented. That's an entirely psychopath stalker. All right, and that's what the government is doing, and it's personified through every single last one of them. And that's what I'm saying. It is a new day, and you're going to be prosecuting that. And that is necessary as a matter of justice as well. You're talking about this being the government at the end of the day. The government has absolutely no business whatsoever, and the government has no business and has no desire either to be associated or founded, because that's exactly what it's been discovered and revealed. And you do not have any reasonable argument. You cannot explain what is supposed to be the sun over me in the city of Fontana, and at the same time over me in the city of Los Angeles, in the city of Ontario or San Bernardino. That's not the sun. So what is the state of California doing? All right. And I've shown you what they're doing, and it's demonic at its core. And that is called terrorism. All right. It is 9:12 a.m. and I am seated at the 280 North Limit Apartments, what I have referred to historically as the shaded area. All right. And the state's fake sun is at the venue. License plate 7ADK 596. And directed light streaming across the sidewalk and across the 280 North Limit Apartments. Not only is that the identity of a third party, that's the identity of what is understanding what is terrorism. That is the identity of a demon, the absence of any coincidence. This is how you're recognizing a system. All right, I've already established this, but I'm just going on and making my argument because it is consistent. 8UVM003. That's how you get that. It is irrespective of your personal identity. This is a system in operation, and you need to understand this system is occurring amongst the demon-possessed, because that's demonic activity that they're engaging in, while they are actually engaged in what is federal stalking, which is criminal. But it gets even worse. It's not just criminal. These are criminals of the demonic. All right, this is demonic activity. And that is not impervious to being introduced in court. That demonic activity is prosecuted as what is terrorism. It's 9:13 a.m. That's P.O.C. 5BBG 550. 8EOD 913. 8ED0913. It's 9:18 a.m. All right, it's a demon. You got lines of directed light on the asphalt while they're driving by. Totally disconnected, but I will show you the fake sun at 9:18 a.m. All right, I want to speak to also what is the ongoing, and I say this because it is relevant. I am not speaking to anything new, and this is why I commonly say, I preface my statements with, I have already established this, I have already shown this, because I have. But I want to make sure I state again, when I am documenting what is the real-time ongoing occurrence of the demon possessed, and that's a terrorizing threat. You're surrounding by the demon possessed who are stalking you, and that is fully known. They are in a demented environment. They are engaging in group demented activity. Okay, these are the demon possessed who are maintaining presence all around you with the state that is also stalking by planes and helicopters, law enforcement, emergency personnel, and fire department. All right, license plate 8VDH588. So you have what is when I'm documenting on my podcast and I'm speaking in real time, molestation, directed light across the building, and understand, regardless of the fact that I have shown in hundreds of videos what is directed light and what the state is doing with directed light. When I turn on a video, for example, you have what is the state turning off that conduct, and that's what I mean by that, turning it down. 7XEP817, directed light into the shaded area where I'm sitting while that sex offender is listening to me document about directed light. Okay, that is a psychopath as well. Laughing like she's focused on something else. That's what the psychopath is, and that's what a demon does. While she's driving by in the shade and directed light is hitting the brick wall right here where I'm sitting and hitting the brick wall to the side of me, and then she parks at the Wells Fargo. That's a psychopath, and that's the absence of coincidence, engaging in that conduct which is absolutely impossible to naturally occur. While I am speaking to the conduct with directed light, that's the absence of coincidence as well, repeating the conduct that they are listening to me, focused on. Understand that that is a woman that is demon possessed. She is stalking me. She is monitoring with communication devices in concert with the state that's practicing what is group demonic activity. They're demons. All right. So I just want to be clear. You have what is, when I am stating in real time on my podcast, that very conduct, directed light across the building, and then I turn on a video. That's, for example, with Staples. I believe I still captured directed light in that video anyway, but what I'm saying, that is the psychopath. I have already established what directed light is. I've created an entire playlist where you can witness over and over what is not only demonic activity, you're understanding what is the grounds of molestation. This absolutely unnatural engineered light is a method of touching, and the state is touching all over your body, touching your breast, touching your face, touching your bottom, touching your genitalia, touching through your clothes. I wouldn't let them touch with my hands. You're not going to let the state touch with anything, let alone its engineered light, which is serving a purpose to your detriment, to monitor you while they're practicing what is entirely demonic conduct. This is a very violent, terrorizing sex offender. And so I've created an entire playlist. You know exactly what directed light is. And that is not occurring, light shooting up to the top of the Kegel's building and moving across in lines at the same time that the people of the state are driving by. Every time a car is driving by, in step with that car is this directed light. This is what I've shown in tons of videos. All right, what the people of the state are doing is not a mystery. It's directly connected to this unnatural environment. It is a direct indicator and identification of a demon. All right, you're talking about what is stalking by demons. This is terrorism. In that demonic environment, this is terrorism. While you're molesting the body, this is terrorism and sexual violence. And so, like I said, as I have documented in video after video, let me get this one, 8WZL683. As I have documented in video after video, you have what is turning down that conduct as I start recording. That which I've already shown. That is speaking to the impermissible threat. That's a terrorist, okay? Trying to remove that conduct. That is never occurring naturally anyway. It's never naturally occurring. 3P68612. While the psychopath knows you're documenting it, okay? My ability to capture it on video is demonstrating what the state is doing at all times. Okay, 8ELX872. And I want to make sure that I clarify that. My capturing it on video today, that's the exact same conduct and more that the state is engaging in as I recited. I have already established this. I don't have to exaggerate, nor am I interested in creating hyperbolic fables of demons and whatnot. This is something that I cannot fathom. This is something that was brought to me, and I am going to prosecute it and expose it. That's why it happened to be, regardless of what the malicious intent was. It's happening to me because I'm going to prosecute it, and I'm going to make a system whereby any ordinary target individual lacking that discernment and that legal skill set may enforce their rights. You don't have to be a legal eagle to do it either. You are witnessing what is a system where that it's going to absolutely not include the court system of that state, because it is demonstrating public corruption and irrebuttable presumption. And this is what I'm showing is ongoing in California. It's not going to include that court system. All right. And this is a matter of federal law. Federal question jurisdiction exists on those grounds as well because of this public corruption. But you're talking about the ability to publish and initiate that federal case. Any person can do that. You're talking about social media. Anyone can do that. 8NEY471. This is what they're doing. This is the use of social media for actually a very important purpose. Okay. And speaking to what is the life-threatening conduct of a government with a people. All right. And California has provided what is a template for that system and for any person to be able to publish and prosecute and enforce their rights and make it known what the government is doing to them as the government is doing it. All right. And that is an ongoing emergency for so long as the government is practicing that. And as I've also shown, as the government has demonstrated, it is a demon-possessed stalker. It's a psychopath and a sex offender, and demonstrating and exhibiting every determined effort to continue to engage in threatening your life and sexually violating you and in stalking and monitoring with the people of the state who are demon-possessed surrounding you. All right. The demon-possessed is not changing because you're seeing a cute puppy dog, because you are seeing little children. Understand, those little children are demon-possessed. They're acting pursuant to the same demonic behavioral pattern. And this is, understand, this is a secret that is ongoing in California. California is sick, diseased with demon possession. All right. And it is the same for any sort of people of the state that you want, the people of the state that are uniformed as government actors, the people of the state that are in commercial capacities, if you will. This is demon possession. And this is demon possession that is engaging in what is criminal conduct. All right. And you're prosecuting every method of that criminal conduct, every malicious form that it takes. And anyone, any ordinary person, any ordinary targeted individual, which is very reasonably terrorized by that conduct by a government, shall be able to enforce their rights. And that's what the purpose of it is. And so what I'm speaking to is, again, that video that I'm capturing at Shiloh's Liquor. These psychopaths are engaging in conduct that is never naturally occurring in the first place. And also that's going to follow it. First of all, it's not naturally occurring. Of course, you can initiate it and also stop it. All right. And that's exactly what the psychopath is doing. And that's a waging of an ongoing threat. That's a terrorist. That's a threat by a terrorist that is engaging in that conduct, turning it down, as I have referenced it in my videos, as I start recording. All right. I'm capturing it, and I have already captured it. And that's what that is monitoring the documentation. That is also speaking to the knowledge of what I am documenting. And that is speaking to everything that I document. And that's why I speak to what Amazon Prime, what Southwest, these commercial actors, these government actors, the people of the state, the entity is engaging in with ongoing knowledge the entire time of everything that I'm documenting. That's going toward their prosecution. All right. It's 9:30 a.m. and that is P.O.C. I just wanted to bring that note to the forefront of your mind. This is a psychopath that tries to turn down that very conduct as I start recording, which it knows they are monitoring with communication devices. That is nothing but the demon-possessed city of Ontario under a fake sun. That's amplified audible activity, P.O.C. BHE 586. By the way, emptying the dumpster in the environment is no form. You're talking about the demon-possessed who work for the trash company, period. Monitoring. It's 9:32 a.m. 6437792, I believe. All right, this is the terrorist, the stalker that is present in helicopter. And the license plate that I already read, they're in a van, they're loitering in a relevant position, and just now pulling off. They've been loitering the entire time. That's helicopter activity. 8VZL063, making a U-turn under the fake sun in directed light. That's light activity, monitoring with the state that's flying over by helicopter. That is license plate 01330N2. All right, documenting the state flying over by helicopter, trying to obstruct the ability to publish my podcast. And that is the significance of the demon-possessed stalkers that I also documented in that video under the fake sun, which is directly over the 280 North Lemon apartments, while directed light is streaming across the 280 North Lemon apartments as that demon makes the U-turn and drives the opposite direction, which is not driving in the wrong direction. That's light activity creation, while the state aims directed light across the building. That's exactly what that demon-possessed stalker was doing at Shiro's Liquor. The state is flying over by helicopter as I am uploading and publishing my podcast, by the way. That's what they're monitoring. All right, that's what that demon was doing in the middle of the night, sitting in the middle of the street at Transit with no license plate on her van, knowing that I was going to document her. 8818580, I believe. I was publishing my podcast, and she sits in the middle of the street while the state molests me with directed light. That's what she was doing, and that's what the state was doing right now. And that's P.O.C. by demons, all together corporately monitoring. Okay, psychopaths. 8VZL063 is monitoring and terrorizing and molesting with that entity. Just standing around in directed light with their communication devices, using their vehicles as light activity, stalking in the path with the rest of the demons that I documented on video under the fake sun. Okay, it's P.O.C. It's 9:36 a.m. That is obstruction of justice while they are monitoring on the venue of the internet, engaging in what is terrorism while they're doing so. That is the sex offender. That's the stalker. That is monitoring the documentation, mindful of every word that is being uttered. That is the violent sex offender. That's POC. WEP196, AP25F22, touching my genitalia with directed light, touching all over me while she's monitoring, thinking that she's about to get away because they're stalling my phone. That sex offender is touching, and who's touching my genitalia as well? 7MXS777, the one I captured in video, stalking under the fake sun at 280 North Lemon Apartments. All right, molesting while he's listening to me speak about that. I'm going to prosecute that sex offender. That's a violent sex offender. 8VZL. 063 is loitering in the path, monitoring as well, while they are together engaging in a touching of my genitalia with directed light. Okay, it is 9:38 a.m. SRD148, I believe. 4GDL418. That's the correct license plate. 9:39 a.m. And amplification of what is the city of Ontario. Let me be clear. I'm sitting at 280 North Lemon Apartments in the shaded walkway. You're hearing what is crashing dumpsters, all right? And it sounds like they're right here at the entrance. That's called amplification, all right? There is no dumpster truck, by the way. I'm sorry, not dumpster truck. There is no dumpster right here. The parking lot is way on the opposite side. It is heightened in volume, and that's what that third party is monitoring me to, whose license plate I just read. You got another one that parks at Wells Fargo. They're stalking in the path. And that is City of Ontario engaging in the ongoing form, right? In the same way that Union Pacific is the form, while the state is stalking with the sound of a train. That actually sounds like an organ. Sounds like a musical instrument, while the state turns that volume all the way up. All right, but that company is nonetheless going to be prosecuted. Amtrak arrives today, crossing path under the fake sun in a large coach bus. All right, crossing path under the fake sun. Union Pacific is using the Amtrak train tracks to engage in pacing back and forth and providing the guise under which there is no guise. All right, but I'm showing these are how demons operate. This is how the system is run, where they are monitoring and creating ongoing noise in that engineered light. That's what demons do. Noise in what is demented light. That's the formula. 8UHR625. While they are engaging in whatever they do physically and audibly, at the same time that you do it. That is the demonic formula for whether you work at the bank, whether you work at the library, where you work at a kindergarten school. License 8REW046. That's the demonic formula. It's 9:40 a.m. That's City of Ontario. License 6TCG536. And 7ESC 971, coming from 280 North Lemon Apartments, crossing path under the fake sun. Pulling in and pulling out is light activity with their cars. They're stalking with light. 6TCG 536 is parked in the parking spot, reverses again. This is a demon that's pacing in engineered light. Okay? Pulls into the spot, is now reversing out of it. P.O.C. 9:41 a.m. All right, all they're doing is monitoring. I'm publishing my podcast. This is what these demons are focused on. All right, and this is the psychopath. 55629Z1, stalking, monitoring. A demon comes and drives in a circle, All right, that's exactly the demon possession of the Ontario Police Department. Under the fake sun, that's why I showed you that image. You're not looking at an ordinary U-turn, if you will. That's a demon. All right, that's a means. And let me be clear, what they really want to do is drive over and over and over and over and over again. But that's, you know how they do it? They'll have more than one. They'll just have a group of cars do it. That's how they're doing it as one. Instead of you looking at 8MBU080, be the psychopath that it is and drive in a circle repeatedly over and over and over again. You'll just have multiple demons come and do the same thing. 7YJL909. 6ZU8107. That's what these demons are doing. They're patrolling, driving in a circle. That's demons in directed light, pacing back and forth. Monitoring on my communication device. It's 9:43 a.m. and the podcast is going on the internet. That's why the state flew over my head in a helicopter as I started doing this, and those are demons that are pacing around. That's terrorism. All right, they engage in that peculiar conduct. There's nothing normal about it. The demons engage in such pacing conduct in what is engineered light. Especially while they are monitoring what I'm doing on my phone. All right, that is another documented act of terrorism by the demon possessed. Demented, absolutely demented. License 5NKT321. (9:46 a.m.) 8SWP530, 7ZTP860. Oh, let's go this way. License 20G2985, 6CDU444. FedEx is crossing path, driving north on Euclid Avenue. All right, I want to make a note. What I'm showing you with regard to the fake sun, 6CDU444, she's operating her communication device monitoring, all right, stalking in the path under the fake sun. That's over the 280 North Limit Apartments, as I show you while I stand over there on that side of the street, 7P.O.4756, where Amazon Prime is stalking last night. Waiting, engaging in creation of light activity. The fake moon is right over that venue, which is the same block where Metro 102 is. Just showing you where the fake sun and the fake moon is, 8UTH082. All right, across 280 North Limit Apartments, while this skinny-legged demon is crossing path with a communication device, 8GWC122. All right, they're monitoring on foot and pacing around the C circle, standing around, engaged in surveillance, just like I showed you at 235 North Laurel, 28769 and 2. All right, and that demon with 6CDU444 engaging in that surveillance and sexual violence and terrorism and federal stalking with kids in the car, okay? Under the fake sun. All right, I'm capturing images of what is, she parks to engage in surveillance, monitoring with a communication device, and so is the African-American female sitting at the Ontario Town Square. I'm showing you what is a fake sun right over 280 North Limit Apartments, and while she's doing that, her kids are sitting in that black van. That's why I took a picture of it, 8GGZ202. I'm telling you right now, they're going to lose possession of their kids. That's why I'm documenting that. You're not going to engage in federal stalking and then take your little kiddies with you while you want to engage in that sexual violence. That's why you're documenting, because these are all the ways you're going to prosecute that. The government thinks that you can do it and never know. You cannot, and you're not going to want to, because you will snatch those little demons out of their possession. And that's literally what she did. This mother, this demon-possessed mother who was posing a threat to her, she's causing harm. She's going out of her way to engage in criminal conduct, stalking someone else and molesting someone else with the government, terrorizing a government where the state is keeping a fake sun and flying over in a helicopter. 8SWP530 is crossing path again. She is going out of her way to stalk someone in a parking lot, standing out, studying her communication device right under the fake sun while directed light is spanning across 280 North Limit Apartments. She is monitoring, and there is no form, period. And you have what is monitoring with communication devices, engaging in federal stalking with the state, representing that threat while she has babies in tow. I don't think so. She's not that concerned with being a mother, okay? And that is actually exposing them to harm. Engaging in federal stalking is something that could be very life-threatening if I was a different type of person. Let me be clear, and you're exposing those children to that. Not only that, you're a demon-possessed stalker who is very likely unfit. That's demonstrated by your criminal conduct that you are engaging in right now, bringing your kids to that criminal activity. That's what you're doing. You're not going to bring your kids to any robbery. You're not going to include your kids. You shouldn't be including your kids in any sexual orgy, because that's what she's engaging in right now while she's keeping her kids in the back seat, monitoring with communication devices. That's why I documented that. All right, engaging in surveillance. These demons are sitting in front of the entrance door, sitting on the side of the entrance of the library, sitting inside of Wells Fargo as well, sitting at the Ontario Town Square, and her standing on the curb, engaging in surveillance surrounding, all right, monitoring with communication devices. Demons under the fake sun. It's 9:51 a.m. That's why you document that. That is a method of understanding the violence that the entity engages in through the people of the state and all the ways that they do so, and the methods of which that are sexually violent and terrorizing. A helicopter's flying over your head and you are a part of that criminal system and you're bringing your children to that. You are unworthy of maintaining guardianship. That's my legal argument. All right, and that's exactly what I'm going to present in a federal court against those third parties engaging in monitoring me and doing so in such methods. 7 MMC 363. That's exactly what I'm going to posit. She's engaging in criminal facilitation, engaging in terrorism right now. The demon-possessed are surrounding, studying their communication devices, monitoring. This is surveillance. And she's out here engaging in surveillance with her kids. You hear them crying? Those are her kids. BE18Z30 paper. A demon. P.O.C. And she's out here monitoring, and she's monitoring what I'm about to post on the internet and how I'm going to prosecute her. 7XEP817. All right, and my point was, speaking to Amazon Prime, you're looking at what is the state's fake sun that is over the 43696A1 over the 280 North Limit Apartments. Understand the 280 North Limit Apartments is right on this opposite side of this block where the fake moon was, where Amazon Prime was parking. I'm just speaking to what is literally the environment that's how you're going to drag these commercials. They're demon-possessed stalkers driving Amazon Prime vehicles, flying Amazon Prime planes, flying Southwest Airlines planes. Okay, a demon-possessed stalker waiting at the entrance of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, where directed light is underneath that entrance and the fake sun is over his head. He's stalking and monitoring with the rest of these demons. All right, and that's the threat that third party with her kids is posing while she wants to bring them with her to engage in that life-threatening criminal activity. That's how you're going to prosecute that. Alrighty, license 8LRX567. Touches all over my property with directed light. And let me be clear, this is what the demons do. And you're hearing that train, you can't hear the train over here at the entrance. This is what the demons do while they're scared, because I'm publishing my podcast, and I'm going to continue to publish it. This is the stuff that they do. They molest, they engage in this sort of harassment while they are monitoring what I'm preparing to upload, which is my podcast. Okay, and guess what? That goes to that mother who's bringing her children to engage in that sort of terrorism and harassment with the government. All right, engaging in that sexual violence and terrorism, bringing her kids to do so. She does not have any business in that position. All right, that's not a mother, and that is presenting a harm not only to those children, because monitoring with the government, that's no small thing. This is life-threatening criminal conduct that she's engaging in, contrary to what the government thinks. Apparently, they think that you can bring your kids with you to this sexually violent conduct. I don't think so. It is 9:55 a.m. That's P.O.C. 8NCC310. All right, license plate. Oh, no license plate. Let's go get that one. Flashing with light. This is just harassment. I'm just going to be dragging demons. This is just harassment while they're scared of what I'm publishing. So you'll have an ongoing, if this is the P.O.C, of course, but you'll have it heightening. That's why the state flies over by helicopter trying to stop my ability to publish it. And then you'll have what is engaging in ongoing harassment, P.O.C, because they want to try to stall whatever they can. That's how pathetic they are. Let me get this real quick. Hold on. This is 8PBX138. Alrighty, I got that documented third-party actor engaging in sexual violence. And then you have what is an accent. So he needs to be shipped out of the country. You're also talking about hostility to being documented as engaging in such terrorism. And I'm taking a picture of what are the demon possessed who are crowded around in front of 280 monitoring to that audible activity and doing so with kids. That's what they're doing. That's the reality of what's ongoing under the fake sun. All right. And that's the third party that's directed light that's touching my person while I'm sitting under the shade. And then you have what are third parties that are already stalking with minor kids under the fake sun. Oh, having a chit chat? No, they're monitoring to that audible activity that demon created while he's hostile because I took his picture. And I'm going to prosecute him with that. He's worthy of deportation. All right. That's P.O.C. 8 NEY 471. It is 9:59 a.m. Anyway, you have what is documentation of what is hostility while you are capturing what is terrorism by the state. He's out here yelling, "I got 2 kids," while he is monitoring and molesting with the state under the fake sun, okay? I did document that because that is one that is, he's got a thick accent, sounds like he's not an American citizen, okay? He is ripe for deportation, him and his children that he is referencing with his audible activity, all right, while he is harassing, monitoring me and my communication device, and then is hostile because I'm gonna document you. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, all right? It's 10 a.m. on the dot and the state's fake sun is over the venue. You hear the plane engines. All right, and what I want to speak to, first of all, is you have what is the state's fake sun that's over the venue, first of all, at 10 o'clock in the morning. Second of all, you have what I'm capturing as I document that third party in the black Audi. He has created audible activity, right? Understand, this is monitoring under the form of harassment. So while he's creating activity, you have what are a group of third parties that stand in front of the driveway area of the 280 North Lemon Apartments. They're monitoring, okay? Documenting them as well. Good, he's gonna go in and document himself on cameras. He's inside of the library, inside of that venue as well. It is currently, he's gonna be deported, all right? Let's get his minions. He's bringing his children to license plate BW63190. Alrighty, it is 10:01 a.m. That's P.O.C. And I will be publishing my podcast as well. And that's exactly why he engaged in such molestation. This is what the entity does. And as I documented, that is a demon-possessed stalker who is holding the hands of his children while he's engaging in criminal conduct and terrorism. And that's exactly how I said that I'm not fazed by it. You shouldn't be fazed by it, but what you're going to do is you're going to prosecute for that. That is terrorism and harassment while you document the entity. That's going toward the policy. And those are those who are unfit to be in the country, period. All right? And everything that he's saying, remember, is audible activity. Everything that he is saying. It is 10:02 a.m. Audible activity with the directed light that he molested me with under that, which is the fake sun. All right? P.O.C. All right, so one of the things I want to note, 5NUA055, stalking with activity, as I press record, all right, ready to cross path. That's stalking with activity. They're monitoring closely. One of the things that I want to note, this is the thing, and this is what is so important about the documentation of the fake sun and the directed light and the conduct with that directed light. You saw it yet again in another video and in pictures. 6RMN226, 2974 2U2, and molesting with directed light while they're driving by. And that's exactly what this group stalker with the heavy accent that I'm documenting, citing his kids, which is audible activity. It's irrelevant to what he was doing. It's relevant for his prosecution and what I am speaking to, which is going to be deportation. But you're talking about what is engaging in what is a sexually violent battery while you're stalking with the state. And this is the reality, this is the breakdown of it. And then you have what is dealing with the entity in their twisted universe, all right? 17643S2 in their twisted universe. But I've already shown, and this is how you're going to prosecute, and this is establishing that precedent for the ordinary target individual, where you are speaking to that which is occurring, which the government is doing through that foreign third party who has no right. He's unworthy to be in this country. He can take him and his kids and get up out of the United States. And so what you're looking at is the directed light, which you are accosting me with, all right? And in their twisted universe where monitoring is not occurring, where it's some sort of hallucination, right? You are violating my person. And then while you are enforcing your rights, documenting the government, acting through that stalker and that sex offender who is touching you, engaging in a battery, that's Satan that knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's why he's going to get out of this country. Let me be clear. Everything he's saying is audible activity. He's crossing path, and he laughs because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. All right? And he knows exactly what I was documenting. That's why. So you're going to engage in violating the person and then demonstrate that hostility to that. That is a psychopath. All right. It's the same thing with the sex offender. You are a sex offender. What do you think is going to happen? Or, I mean, I don't know about anything, but I'm establishing precedent for what's going to happen. Okay. It is the P.O.C. for harassment. And let me be clear, that's unfortunate. And this is the thing, because the whole entity is going to be prosecuted for that. That's a psychopath who is very, very furious that he's being documented, and everything that he's saying is ongoing documentation, and you've seen directed light. And as before he came and engaged in the P.O.C, I was already documenting what the state is repeatedly doing, molesting with light while they're monitoring on my phone, okay? Flying over my head with helicopter because they're scared of the podcast that I'm about to upload right now. This is not a distraction. It's ongoing documentation against the ongoing P.O.C, where the state is following with a fake sun that is over the venue, and directed light, sunlight, which that is not sunlight, that is beaming across my body, while that group stalker who I documented, lawfully documented, engaging in hostility upon doing so, while he is violating my body. That's the reality of it. And this is why you document. This is why that legislation is so necessary, because dealing with psychopaths like that who are going to be shipped out of this country, he's going to be shipped out of here, unworthy to be here. He's a little midget maggot and a coward. It is 10:06 a.m. and that's P.O.C. He's repeat. Let me be clear. You're dealing with demon possession, and you're talking about what I am conversing on. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's why you hear Satan laughing. All right. And also there's nothing comical about it. But I just want to be clear. That is the ongoing reaction of the demon possessed. They are psychopaths, and they are hostile to being identified as criminals and the demons, because this is their condition. And he's engaging in the conduct of that psychopath, engaging in loitering in relevant position now at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. Okay. It's 10:07 a.m. It is 10:07 a.m. and that is pacing by that third party back and forth, and that's what I'm documenting. And the state is sounding helicopter activity, 10:07 a.m. P.O.C. All right, ongoing plane activity, that's the state. This is going toward the whole entity. They tried to flee from being documented. The whole entity is engaging in that. You have what is molestation of my person after the vehicle has already passed by. They're trying to avoid being documented. And that's the state that's flying over at 10:08 a.m. That is going toward that same sex offender in the black van who was bringing her kids to engage in sexual violence and terrorism. That's going toward her. That's what I mean by the whole entity. All right. Amazon Prime is a part of the same P.O.C. that does not stop. And the state is engaging in an ongoing molestation with directed light while the third parties are trying to avoid being documented, meaning after they're driving by and whereby their license plate can't be seen, then the flashing light is appearing onto me. OK, it's 10:09 a.m. Merchants is crossing by, Merchants, MERCHANTS, that's a commercial actor crossing by, the same pattern of conduct, directed light. You have, let's see, it is 10:10 a.m. by the way. License plate 8RJC784. 8BCZ098. It is 10:11 a.m. I already documented this paper plate in the gray Tahoe, driving from after loitering in relevant position under the fake sun at the Ontario Town Square parking lot, engaging in the same harassment. And these are the demons again, the same environment that tethers all of them together, the same directed light that tethers all of them together, the same demonic behavioral pattern of stalking with simultaneity to what I do, including on a phone, ties them all together. And this is harassment by that entity that is a sex offender altogether. Okay. And this is why you have that ongoing impossibility of light flashing on way back behind their vehicles, flashing onto my property while they're driving by. All right. And this is harassment by entity that I'm documenting. And that's inherent to the P.O.C, as is sexual violence. And this is hostility to the documentation of what's going to the entirety of that entity as well. And that is the harassment by law enforcement, by the state stalking by a helicopter, the state stalking with the amplification of train activity, which you're hearing also here at the library in the background, which you're not going to hear. Again, you're not going to hear the Metrolink train inside of the Upland Public Library. You're not going to hear the Union Pacific train inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern. This is contributing to the environment while demons surround. And that is the prosecution of every single last demon that I've already documented. I've already published their identity, and they're present. They are acting as one. It does not change because it was last Tuesday. It's the same pattern of conduct. It's the same criminal system in operation. It did not pause, and it is continuing. And these demons are one entity acting together with the state. And that is also irrefutable evidence. That's why you have impossible occurrence of flashing light all over the place. Right? And doing so while I'm documenting evidence that happens to be damning against the entirety of that entity. GONZOJR, they're psychopaths and they are defeated. There is no getting out of it. And so you're talking about ongoing documentation against the thousands that have already been shown. They're all facing those federal charges together and the ways in which they did so. You come and engaging in sexual violence, touching on my genitalia with directed light while you are present with your kids, stalking with the government that is engaging in terrorism, flying and stalking by law enforcement and helicopter activity. Yes, you deserve to be deported out of this country. Yes, you are worthy of losing possession of those children as you are presenting a risk not only to their safety, but you're threatening my life while doing so. That is the totality of that documentation. All right. And it's an ongoing analysis against every documented third party. And that's what they're doing. That's P.O.C. It's 10:13 a.m. 4 EUV 345. I'm sorry, 4 EUV 435. Seven EML 622. 8 TJZ 977. 6 NPR 315. Let me see. 6 NRR 315. Excuse me. 8 TYP 582. All right, license AZB8M1, that they don't even have a whole plate on their vehicle. It's a utility truck used as a means of stalking in the path, monitoring with communication devices. It is 10:19 a.m. 5SKJ051 7YJE665 6R63777. It's 10:23 a.m. Let's see, 8VTC 131. 6LCB 573, monitoring with a minor in the front seat. Stalking with activity on my communication device. That's a demon, and engaging in federal stalking with a minor. 10:26 a.m. 6 ARK 600. 8 HBH 994. All right. Ongoing molestation. This is ongoing while they're driving by and they're monitoring on the internet. Okay, I'm uploading my podcast. This is ongoing sexual violence while these demons, this is what they all have in common. They're demons in this demonic environment engaging in that demonic act, which is also sexually violent, while they are stalking as one entity. This is terrorism. All right, it's 10:27 a.m. 7GDD 458. A sex offender touching all over, and even when there was no vehicle driving by, the state is still molesting with light. All right, it's occurring with simultaneity to their crossing path. That is the intent, and that is their touching. 6JPM038, and the state again was simultaneity to my touching my phone after someone had already driven by. You have what is the state still molesting me with directed light. Okay, it is pursuant to federal stalking. It is demonic. It is a sexual touching. It is without consent, and it is while the entity is stalking. All right. That is Plain Engines under the fake sun, where I sit at 280 North Lemon Apartments. It's 10:28 a.m. 8 PNW 757. And it is currently, by the way, 10:32 a.m. All right, 7VXB038, molesting as I'm capturing what is a demon-possessed little stalker coming out of the library, monitoring with communication devices under the fake sun. And as I capture that minion, you have that third party that is engaging in a molestation, right? And the state turns on and off, if you will, that conduct. All right, so that is an act of hostility as I'm documenting that third party that's on foot. Okay, that's the sex offender. License 89910K1. License 7PQG480, 7MYB 476. All right, and while I am subject to that ongoing perpetual molestation of my body, with that which is unnaturally occurring, Wells Fargo remains in a relevant position. The state facilitating venue of the Ontario Town Square on the grounds. I showed you the African-American female in operation of her communication device while she has her children in tow, which is the absence of any form under the fake sun and that ongoing directed light sexual violence. She is monitoring. She's representing what they're doing on the grounds in relevant position. Monitoring 6LCB 573, including inside of Wells Fargo. 6R63 777, 6WRD 126, 7FML 622, 6VHX 174 05224Z1, and I read his license plate 62825H3. 7, I read that one. That's the one that molests. He goes inside of Wells Fargo. He's monitoring. Documenting himself. 7YRS 059. 8VSS 755, 6YFH 058, 8TYP 582. This ignition is audible activity. 26444P2, 4ZOM 116, 8WCH 287, C34OXC, that's Utah, 5TUK 150, GONZOJR, 8DYL 269, 7CGG277, and it's 10:34 a.m. Alrighty, showing what is substantial directed light, 8DYL269, while what our demons are crossing path as the fake sun is clearly over the Wells Fargo, right? No longer over the 280 North Limit Apartments where they are monitoring, all right? And while I'm capturing that video, this group stalker is loitering in relevant position while Amazon Prime is flying over them. License 8RBH033, using her hazard light, stalking in the path with directed light. I just showed you the directed light. That's the purpose of that. 8TVE464. All right, that's a demon. All right, they like to use their flashers light. They use flashing lights in the engineered light under the fake sun that is totally removed from being over 280 North Limit Apartments. It is clearly over the Wells Fargo. That is P.O.C. And that group stalker, whose license plate I read, GONZO, is sitting in the vehicle monitoring the entire time, engaging in stalking and has engaged in this prolonged period while I've been sitting at the 280 North Limit Apartments. So while the fake sun remains over my head as I'm up here in Wells Fargo and I'm capturing that directed light, he's sitting in that vehicle, in that truck, operation of communication device monitoring, okay? So I just took a picture of that. That's stalking. That's what they're doing. They engage in surveillance and surrounding the perimeter. Wells Fargo is not a forum for anything. Wells Fargo was a venue. The fake sun is directly over the logo, hovering over that building. Moving from Ontario Open Family Community Library, by the way, and it's nowhere possible to coexist with being over me at the Upland Public Library or Fontana, okay? While directed light is moving back and forth across the wall, which has nothing to do with that being any sort of sunlight. It is absolutely disconnected, all right? That is movement under engineered light, which the state turns on and off. It is tethering all of the demons together. That's demonic activity. It is federal stalking conduct, and it is P.O.C. 8RBH033. Okay, documenting that one, 8RBH033, 5YWK741, and when I'm capturing that third party, she's engaging in the behavioral pattern. That's what Amazon Prime does. What's their form? Delivering a package. It's not any form, all right? It's the same demonic system in operation, in the same environment created by the state, not a natural environment, especially when you're looking at what is the directed light. These are demons. TNKBE1. It is currently 10:41 a.m. and that is capturing also what is the fake sun that's directly over the Wells Fargo, which is a venue, engaging in monitoring and ongoing sexual molestation while I am at the 280 North Limit Apartments, and the entity that's monitoring my uploading of my podcast is repeatedly molesting my body with that which is a natural light. Okay, license plate 8DBC264. That's the one that is on camera engaging in what is harassment. He is stalking. He is under the fake sun. He's engaging in operation of his communication device. He is the one that is acting on behalf of the state as though he is waiting for me to get out of the way, and he is stalking me. He is present to monitor me, and that is all demonstrated by the environment. All right, this is the reality of how they are, how they conduct themselves, though, and this is in the absence of what is legislation and the recognition that the government is monitoring you. But this is the bare bones reality of revealing what is a psychopath and the impermissible threat by that entity. And this is why you have third parties that engage in such conduct. You're talking about perpetuating a threat, because that's what that's supposed to be, summoning the Ontario police, for example, who are stalking in the path. They're monitoring right now. They're already present, and they're the same demon-possessed actors under that same exact fake sun. In their alternate universe where they're not monitoring, where it is a hallucination of a target individual that no longer exists, all right, you're talking about them monitoring what is their impending prosecution and speaking to those who shall be restrained and put in federal prison based on this criminal system that's in operation in concert with the people of the state, all right, giving form to a government that's monitoring you and sexually violating you. ATCD 904. It is 10:42 a.m. That's P.O.C, and that is just showing the deviation of the state's fake sun that remains over the venue. I want to be clear, over the Wells Fargo at 10:36 in the morning, like I showed you right now in the video. That's farther than the state's fake sun was at 3:01 p.m., where I stepped out and showed you where the Ontario police are driving in circles under the fake sun right here over that tree, right? And then the state places its fake sun back over 280 North Lemon Apartments. All right, it is 10:45 a.m. So inside of the state facilitating venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, where you're looking at what is the placement of that deliberate placement of that environment. And that's why you're seeing what is the fake sun moving from Wells Fargo, where I walk over there back to the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, directed light underneath the structure of that entrance. All right, and you have what is direct evidence of what that's clearly not the sun, because it's over me in entirely different cities, maintaining that entirety of that same object central over my head. All right, so this is Stalking with Light, and you're looking at also what is the terrorism while the demon possessed are driving by the Wells Fargo building, while the fake sun is directly seen over that logo right over me. And that which is not naturally occurring, that's directed light. The same movement across that wall, that's what the state was doing across my person. That's called a molestation. All right, and it is the sexually violent aspect of what is demonic activity while they are monitoring with communication devices under that which is the fake sun that is specifically tailored to my physical location right there by the Wells Fargo building. All right, that is speaking to the stalking conduct and stalking presence of the people of the state that are acting as one. It is the identification of what are demons that surround as well. That is terrorism. All right, it is 10:46 a.m. And so while inside you are understanding what is the demented environment, the demented light continues. It's present. They are not doing anything but stalking in the path. These are the same demon-possessed entity that is inside of the venue. Sorry, I'm taking my jacket off. This is the same demon-possessed entity that is inside of the venue, hovering over you, molesting with light, and stalking with audible activity, monitoring with communication devices, and doing so. All right, and it is ongoing terrorism and sexual violence inside of the venue where the state keeps its fake sun. And like I showed, you have what is at that location at the Wells Fargo, the state's fake sun advanced at that moment while I walked there farther than it does at 3:01 p.m. yesterday from the entrance at 9:40 something in the morning to what was the right above the turn circle of C Street at 3:01 p.m. The state's fake sun over Wells Fargo is advanced farther than that. And that's why I was able to capture the Ontario police engaging in the outward demonstration of demon possession, engaging in pacing around in a circle under the fake sun in directed light at 3:01 p.m., which is not west of that large tree in front of 235 North Laurel Avenue, which I would never have been able to capture in a picture if that was actually the sun over 235 North Laurel Avenue. And also impossible light activity moving underneath that tree, removing all of the shade and moving the shade of that tree up onto a wall behind me, where the state's fake sun is necessarily on the west side because the state is failing, but acting like that's the sun and that's natural light activity, and it's not. But that is nonetheless what I documented. All right, and all of that is just on the micro level. The macro level, again, is this is the state's fake sun that is remaining over me in the city of Fontana, for example. That's why I'm able to capture at 1:14 p.m. in the city of Fontana, the fake sun directly over me. In the city of Upland at 1:14 p.m., the state's fake sun directly over me, replete with what is directed light inside of those venues, impossible light activity, that is. All right, that is while showing the same exact placement of what is that which is not the sun and not possibly the sun at that same minute, that same hour down to the minute. I'm maintaining that central presence in different cities. That is not, that's called Stalking with Light, and that's entirely demonic. And this is speaking to the central focus that are the demon possessed who are stalking and terrorizing with that entity. All right. And doing so while sexually violating as well as one. 10:48 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, it is 11:21 a.m. I published my podcast at 11:19 And what the state engaged in inside of the venue is you have what is stalking in the path using what are the third parties that are sitting at the desks and surrounding and directed light. They are in directed light doing so surrounding. The state is in operation of communication devices as well. You have what is the venue engaging in what is demonic activity. This is a demon using what it is in the natural employed to do and doing so pursuant to the demonic behavioral pattern. And this is slamming of books on the bookshelves pursuant to what I am doing on the venue of the internet. As I am uploading a file to my podcast in real time, bam, slamming of noise, which is amplified. This is a demon, all right, that works at the library, a venue where demonic activity of federal stalking is underway, while the state is also amplifying noise through the wall, the desk that I'm sitting at. All right, you're hearing noises through the wall sounding like water cycling, like a toilet flushing. There is no bathroom on the opposite side of this wall. I just want to be clear, that is audible activity in directed light. Directed light is present. You remember everything is deliberate in the environment. But not only that, the state is amplifying the sound of plane engines in doing so in concert with the third parties who surround in relevant position and are stalking with noise. So I want to document that. It's 11:22 a.m. and I did just publish my podcast, and that is what they are engaging in, monitoring the same terrorism and sexual violence, because I'm being molested with directed light, and terrorism while they surround in relevant position, engaging in their demonic activity of stalking with noise. It's 11:23 a.m. That's P.O.C. Alrighty, it is 2:56 p.m. and this is state facilitating venue of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, engaging in the ongoing P.O.C. This is documentation of what is the sex offender, the psychopath that is engaging in federal stalking, that is literally stalking as an entity and is actively monitoring the documentation and trying to obstruct justice. And that's what's ongoing on desktop computer number 12. Blocking the ability to access my website, stating that the site is not working. This is monitoring conduct on the venue of the internet, all right? And I'm taking images of what, for example, is a group stalker as they are engaging in patrolling, a different face doing the exact same thing, creating sensational activity, stalking in the path as I change websites. As I go to the same website, for example, from a different browser, and they are engaging in monitoring in this regard. And you're remembering this is the demented environment. They're in directed light in here. The state is amplifying audible activity. And these are demons that are pacing around, both the third-party patrons who are here just stalking and the employees who are here just stalking. They're in directed light. So your status as an employee is no form. You are in the environment. And they are engaging in monitoring on the internet at this venue, engaging in the P.O.C. where the state's fake sun is present. And this is also what is speaking to that impermissible threat. This is terrorism by the entity that is monitoring the documentation, which, by the way, documenting today, publishing today, what is the state's fake sun moving from the entrance of the 280 North Limit Apartments adjacent to the library over the Wells Fargo at 240 North Euclid. All of this in conflict with ever being over me in the city of Upland. That's just one example. And documenting also at the same time, February 15th, 2021. Look at that. You'll see what the state was doing with its fake sun on that day. That was directly over the U.S. Bank at 333 North Euclid Avenue. This is why you have what is obstruction of justice while they're engaging in ongoing obsessive terrorism that is entirely demented altogether. And so I am accessing my website on my phone. The same Chrome browser, all right? But you have what is on a desktop that is not Wi-Fi either, and blocking my ability to get on. This is the result of federal stalking, monitoring with communication devices, and the entirety of the entity is present. I showed you the helicopter that is flying over the state that is stalking by commercial airplane, the directed light that is inside and outside of the venue. And this is P.O.C. This is documentation of obstruction of justice, and these are psychopaths engaging in that conduct, all right? And let me make my point. The group stalker that is bringing her children to engage in this life-threatening, sexually violent conduct is being prosecuted for this very act, and that is how the analysis goes, all right? She is engaging in this ongoing, ceaseless criminal act with the state, actively seeking to obstruct justice. It's 2:59 p.m. That's P.O.C. All right, it is 4:19 p.m., capturing images of what is demonic, all right? And that is the absolutely abnormal and unnatural and impossible light activity that fills the venue of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. I even captured the image of the state's fake sun while I am standing in front of the elevator, All right. That is, first of all, an exceedingly low supposed alleged sun. That's not even an alleged sun, but I'm just using that verbiage, being facetious, clearly. The state's fake sun is capable of being captured through while I'm standing at the elevator inside. The state is illuminating the inside. You have what is directed light that's appearing on the elevator, my shadow appearing on the wall that is in front of the elevator. That is highly reflective directed light. All right, that is also a sexually violent threat. The restroom is right there. All right, and that is also directed light that is streaming onto the floor into the depths where the staircase is, and right there by the elevator. That's everything I captured in images, and it's 4:20 p.m. And this is, again, with the psychopath stalker, the sex offender's knowledge of what you're documenting inside of what is nothing but a venue. There is no legal argument for any documented actor inside of this venue. This is clearly P.O.C, and this is a demonic environment. That is terrorism. All right, it is 4:20 p.m. P.O.C. Alrighty, so this is stripping the demons down of every sense of normalcy that they never had, and you're showing what is demonic stalking activity, all right, amongst a group, and they represent the state. And so showing what is the fake sun as I am in the depths of the library. I am standing at the elevator, literally, while I am also down the stairs. That's what I'm taking an image of. And what you're remembering is the demented environment that these group stalkers are in. Capturing images of what is a group stalker, that is, they're maintaining presence in the path, and that's what group stalkers do. That's what, by definition, they are manning the path, keeping you surrounded. In other words, the people of the state are demon possessed, and they're essentially engaged in what is ongoing surveillance vicariously on behalf of a government that's operating this monitoring system. They are all monitoring with communication devices. They are in an entirely demented environment. Not only did I just show, again, I'm capturing images of what is the fake sun, and you have them sitting outside of the bathroom. That's the bare bones revealing of a sex offender. Okay, they're already monitoring. You're talking about manning the path in the restroom. That is the demon-possessed stalker that is monitoring your documentation. That is literally, if you will, escorting you inside of the bathroom, sitting right outside of it. All right, in directed light, sitting right next to you inside of the library, in directed light, monitoring everything you're doing, making noises with simultaneity to what you do. They're not reading any book. They're not focused on that. They're demons that are literally making noises, slamming doors, ongoing anonymous booms and bangs occurring with simultaneity to what you're doing. They're demons that surround, and that is the terrorism, while they are focused on you, and that environment is what is telling you that, and that is the communication of an unlawful threat. This is terrorism, while the state is represented vicariously inside of the venue. And that is all that is ongoing. I literally just capture that, and I go downstairs, and you have nothing but demons that surround. I mean, they're upstairs as well, but you're speaking to what is that prosecution. You're literally looking at the venue, because that's what this is. You are representing the state, and you are stalking outside of the bathroom. You're a sex offender. You are stalking with audible activity. You are a terrorist, a demon-possessed stalker, acting in concert with the government. That is operating in a satanic monitoring system. And that is the significance of what I captured. Specifically, I have because I'll just break down, this is the logistics, and it's necessary to give you those little details, and so a little short story, because this is how they are stalking. This is literally what they do. So I essentially started to sit down and unpack my belongings and get comfortable at a desk, but then I changed my mind, and I decided to go into the restroom first before I unpacked everything and got comfortable. The entire time, everything that I'm doing inside of that bathroom is public information amongst the demon-possessed. Okay? They're all monitoring. And that is that's sexual violence that you are subject to, and that's just the facts. Okay, I've been documenting those that are stalking in the bathroom. Okay, going inside of the bathroom, and that's the government. That's how far that they go, and that is the ordinary P.O.C. by the way. But you have what is everything that just went on in the bathroom is a matter of public knowledge, and you have what is walking out. Presence remaining inside in relevant positions, sitting at the table. I've shown you what is the directed light. You've got the top of the chairs, which is that reflective type of shadow. This is why my shadow is in front of me. That's not normal. Okay, it's that reflective type of shadow where you're standing in what is directed light. The tables and the chairs have more than one shadow. I showed you what is my double shadows underneath the desk. Okay, this is riddled. It's filled with directed light. And they are representing a threat. This is terrorism at every step that you're taking with that knowledge. Okay, I'm making it known and understanding the prosecution, because this is what the government is doing. This is the unlawful threat that it is communicating and what the people are communicating. They are doing it mutually. Okay, and every step that you're taking with a knowledge of that environment that you are in, that they are engaging and participating in, keeping you surrounded. All right. So as I sit down at a desk and then I choose to go to the bathroom first and then go back to that desk, you have another group stalker that joins to sit right next to where I am. They know this. They're all stalking. You're in directed light. There is no argument. That's what stalking is. That's exactly what they're doing. And that's why I went and took a plethora of pictures of that particular group stalker. And what you're witnessing is somebody that knows that they're being documented, turning their head every which way, trying to avoid being captured. All right. You have what is that knowledge of that being documentation. And this is the reality of what is federal group stalking and monitoring, period. But I'm speaking to what is terrorism. And you're seeing how that is communicated and what the state is doing with a fake sun. That's terrorism. You're looking at that hovering light source over the building as I go from place to place. You see me go from city to city. You're looking at my documentation, the even bigger picture, no matter what city I go to, even in Los Angeles. It doesn't matter what city the state is engaging in this conduct. You're looking at law enforcement that are engaging in the same conduct. That's not a coincidence. That's not an ongoing, recurring coincidence. It is a pattern, and it is demonic. California is practicing a monitoring system in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2261A subsections 1 and 2, and it is satanic in every method employed. It is revealing what are the demon possessed who are maintaining a demonic environment together, engaging in criminal conduct. That is terrorism while they do so. Okay. And that is, it's 4:46 p.m. and that's the significance of the images that I'm taking. Everything that they are doing is pursuant to the same exact demonic formula. All right. Making noise pursuant to what I do as I do it. Crossing path in what is directed light, because you're not walking by, you're not driving by, you're not flying above and over and around. Clearly you're stalking in a helicopter, but I mean in the commercial airline planes, they're crossing path in the environment. That's the prosecution, period. All right, it is 4:46 p.m. and that is P.O.C. It's currently 5:50 p.m. 280 North Lemon Apartments engaged in P.O.C. 4URZ392. This is upon my exit. I'm exiting the state facilitating venue, Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. Eight HFW 728, 8 PKJ 755. 6FHN 775, 5NOZ 723. Yummy ice cream. The address is 1726 South Baker, Ontario, California. That's audible activity. While he knows I'm approaching, he's in directed light, 44978C1. That ice cream truck is treated as a commercial actor, engaging in federal stalking. License plate 7NXC260. I'm sorry, 4ZVT458. Eight SLW 500. 30386F3 7YGS 754. 5WSN 075. 6NAU 978. 6LYN 840. 8TWV 632. 7AGD 035. 7ITW or 7TTW 44B. 6EEF 870, 8CIH 080, 8VKS 310, documented him last night, 7SJM 084, 6NVV 909. 7BNG 924, I believe. 7ACS 628. Let's go get 8EBL 297 68526Y2. Seven WMU 966 6JBT 142. Hey, how's it going, third party? 8VJW 299. C9374. This little demon, he had to make some kind of noise. It's so sad. Demonic activity. They are the demented, boy. He was stalking with activity, so he hits his pedal. And not because he's getting ready to take off, but because I'm walking by. That's called stalking with activity. Simultaneity of what is noise and presence in the path, okay? 8 BET 391, 8 UPM 879, 7 MNB 796, 34293 R1, 8 UPM 495, 4 RDA 696, 7 EJV 638. It's 5:56 p.m. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Alrighty, going westbound on Hope Boulevard at 557. LA 77 RDR 7 UEG 864 53334 E2 5YGP 539 30347D1 78227 E3 8 NQH 193 8 HIE 633. Can't really see that one. 8 P18 223. Oh, so many points to be made. LFSGUUD. But if life is good, you would not be a demon-possessed group stalker. All right? They are conning themselves. Anyway, license. 8 MGK 734. 6XGK 251. Hilarious. It's as real as a group stalker's license plate that says God's woman. I don't think so. Depending on what you call God, all right? Satan is her God. That works. Okay. That's a true statement. 6XGK251. Excuse me, but I will digress. 5ESU638. I will digress. 6XSU851. Let's see. 7NMR687. 8VUB 632 61430S2 7. I read that one. 7 PDJ 272 7 JBJ 855 6 FOT 212 8 RWN 927 ONTFIRE 5 UTA 115 6 E938. I can't really see that one. 8 LJM 517 0480 5 E2 8 RAV 719 7 ZVL 802. I can't really see that one. All right, group stalking. This is license plate 8 RZW 172. Stalking with their headlights on the side right here in front of third party facilitating venue T-Mobile. All right, 8 JIM 280, 8 VZE 316, 8 PNP 517. 4 UPA 156. All right, I want to be clear, that is literally the mark of demon possession. What this license plate I just read that is sitting on the side of the venue, they are in directed light. They are engaging in the demonic stalking pattern with light, and doing so while I document, okay? 8ET 618, substantially somewhere. Can't really see the rest of that one. That is literally a demon, and that's the psychopath conduct. They all do that. Those are demons that do that. Because you're remembering the environment, and this is what is controlling. All right, elements are controlling. You're remembering the behavioral pattern and how they stalk. How they stalk and where they're stalking, the environment. All right, and what is also prefacing the state that is stalking. 8SSR 260, 6ABV 294, 8XO4 911. 6BXU 670. 8LHC 672. 7JBC 605. 4TKA 516. I read that one. 8PUU 423. 5WPF 690. 4MUR 428, 8RYH 279. This is an old, crusty, white man serving Satan, stalking an American citizen who was documenting it, and I'm going to prosecute him for this ongoing act of terrorism on behalf of the people of the state. This is the behavioral pattern. All right, aiming light, understand he's in the environment. This is engineered light. This is facilitation for all of the rest of the demons to monitor too. Okay? And let me show you what is directed light. Hold on, what is this? Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, this is directed light. I will show you that right now. Hold on. Alrighty, and that is no ordinary sitting in traffic. That's a stalker. Alrighty. That is again 8RZW172. That's a psychopath, and I'm revealing what is the environment while they are engaging in the ominous stalking conduct. All right, aiming light. This is engineered light. My shadow is surrounding me. All right, and they engage in this demonic activity, and they are acting in concert as one. This is the maintenance of presence, the maintenance of light, while they are all patrolling together. 8F61904, 7RSS322. Understand that demon is speaking to what is the presence of all of the rest of them. The demonic environment is speaking to what are demons that surround, okay? The demonic behavioral pattern that they mutually engage in, speaking to demons that surround, all right? I just want to make sure I clarify that. They're all under the fake moon, and they're all in directed light. And what 8RZW172 is doing is that which demons routinely do. It is a pattern, and that is why it became a part of documentation. For you, RZ392. 04270Y1. 5CGT117, A3412, hold on, 7RSS322 is monitoring with children, A3412A, 05374U1, 6JBT142, USPS 3315332 is the number on that vehicle. They are demon possessed. That's the government. License 6LVT012. And by that's the government, I mean that's the government acting directly by USPS, all right? Omnitrans is present, loitering. Understand that demon with license plate 8RZW172. Omnitrans is being manned by a demon that is driving, stalking with peculiarized light. I just showed you the directed light. We are under the fake moon. Omnitrans has no form. They are demon possessed, monitoring as well. Ontario Police on the opposite side of the same street, monitoring, okay? This demon is providing headlights. Omnitrans is providing flashers, all right? That's light activity in directed light. They're monitoring. 7GRP738, 5KTS399. And that is bus 2342. And it is 6:04 p.m. 813SZ, handicap, 7HPY231. Ontario Police are group stalking at the intersection of Holt and Euclid, headed northbound, okay, at 6:04 p.m. 77374D3. Omnitrans going eastbound is monitoring, all right? It is, can't see that bus number. It is currently, again, 6:05 p.m., and this is all on traffic cameras. 8RZW172, engaging in what is loitering in relevant position, criminal facilitation. That is terrorism while they engage in that blatant act of stalking. This is a terrorizing pattern that the people engage in, and that's what I'm documenting him engaging in, okay? It is loitering with Omnitrans. That's exactly what they're going to be prosecuted as. Running a bus line is no form, and they literally don't have any form at all. I mean, documenting them heavily. Exactly what's wrong with them. That's a company that's not going to make it. License plate. 7VYX582. P.O.25D0. 54948T2. My shadow appearing behind me on the venue of Zolo's Bidieta. That is incriminating that venue while I'm being molested. Omnitrans is monitoring to that, sexually violating me as well. All of them are sex offenders, 7MFL932 included. License 7XWM840. Monitoring with the kid. He's patrolling again. He just goes by again with a little kid in the backseat. 8XLN769, 8TJF025, 8CZZ553, 8SAP112, 8NGA328, 7SHL056, 8D, I can't see that one, 8LFL643, 8REZ319, 8DMT663. License, sex offender 7ACB437, license 54948Z. I'm sorry, 54948T2. All right, those are the two sex offenders and the demon pacing back and forth and doing so in direct light. All right, that fat, hefty female would never have permission to touch me, and she doesn't have permission to touch on behalf of a government that she is stalking. And going in and make a purchase at any venue is no forum. That's why the environment is present, and that is the surefire prosecution of yet another sex offender representing the people of the state, because they're acting as an entity. You speak as the entity, you molest as the entity, you harass as the entity, you defame as the entity, you kidnap as the entity. 8P15726. 8RLX891. 4AX6977 is a trailer on the back of that vehicle. That license plate I did not see. 6ZAR617, but it was an Arizona license plate. 7WWS148, 8VAH663. Let's see. 6KPG072, 5HOV045, 7BWS149. 8PXA897, 7PLW636, 5FUT265, 8AYK937, 92700R2, 8HPV216, 8EGJ237, SEWCAL2, WJ864, I believe, substantially similar, 12350R1, 12350R1, that's correct. 8RFZ959. It's 6:09 p.m. 6NAF046, 6WNC 954, 7UGV312, 7FCT140, 6NSD440, 2282R handicap, 8TWF118, 6BZB484, and monitoring with the child in the back. 7ZHS448. 6VYC976. 8FLS087. 8L, I can't see that one. 7LUJ167, I believe. 7CCP214. 7PDW92, I can't see that one. 8CNZ903, 7WXP189, I believe. Let me see. 7WDP788. I'll get this one in a second. Let me see. All right, molesting is 7KKP060. 7WDP788, molesting. 6KJH921, molesting. 8FLS087, 8AVA527, 8946, ON2. All of them sex offenders. All of them inside of Zolo's BD area. That's a restaurant, a relevant position. Directed light is covering that building. All right. Has nothing to do with headlights. The headlights are not going to reach here. Headlights are going to reach the museum from here either. That's P.O.C. and those demons are in there in that restaurant monitoring and operational communication devices as well. All right. And it is the same for the rest of these venues in relevant position. License plate. Hold on. It's 6:11 p.m. Let me get 4UWP 167. All of them sex offenders. These are demons just taking laps. 7GVX 303. This is the psychopath that wants to maintain presence. 3106-1C3. 7KVF 913. 8NSW 816. 8RRP 879, I believe. $3299. I can't really see that one. Scratch that. See. It is 6:12 p.m. Oh, it's 6:11 p.m. 6:12 p.m. right now. All right, license. 8AAE 499. I'm sorry, 5AAE. And the last three are correct. That was not an 8 that it started with a 5. 7GVX 303 31061C3. 82ZD 537. 24308 8RBM 680. Hold on. Yeah, you can scratch the other one. 8RDM 680. I'll get that one. And it is Omnitrans going northbound on Euclid Avenue is loitering in relevant position, creating light activity, peculiarized light, making a delivery in the environment under the fake moon and directed light is not formed, making a stop at a bus stop in directed light under the fake moon is not formed, in amplified audible activity. And Omnitrans is monitoring to that audible activity, 6ZBN171. All right, that they are one entity acting together, and that actor is creating light activity for the rest of these demons and for itself, because Omnitrans itself is monitoring, the demons on that bus are monitoring, and these demons patrolling are monitoring. 6UKB720, including Pizza Hut. License 7LMM304. All right, that's treated as a commercial actor with Pizza Hut brand on top of that car. 5FTF609. 7JIP948. 8WVV693. Let's see, 6L631RO, I believe, 8XWF669, but I can't really see that one. 7SWX278. That is Omnitrans loitering in relevant position, and that is amplified audible activity, and directed light is on the brick wall behind that bus, well behind. Shadows of the vehicles in large has none of them are even in the middle. It's ridiculous. Let's get this. 8MSF479, in other words, is a demon and is monitoring. 7VAJ723, 7PLK881, demons monitoring. Sex offenders 99571J1. You already know the demented environment. They're demons. 6UKB720. 8MZK263, 6PNJ178. 8WVV693. I think I read that one. 6KJH921. 6DTU842. 7EHK921. 8ECW635. 8FGS671. Paper plate. And that's amplification of audible activity in directed light. Paper plate. BU00R89. Demons. Demons that are sex offenders and very demented stalkers. P.O.C. Back on these bitches. 7UNX282, 7EHM333, 8LRK786. This is audible activity in directed light. Remember these little demons on skateboards, okay? P.O.C. They're demons. The demonic activity is not limited to 18. It's P.O.C. 8TPF658. And understand this is the government monitoring with kids. He is monitoring. 6WSR773, 8XPY103, monitoring with minors. 8XVN164, 7YPG617, 61469G2. That's what that is. That's how you're going to prosecute that. 8YAE423. They want to use kids and want to engage in terrorism with minors. 7B56541. You're going to prosecute that. 8ETM962. 7RLC771. 8LKN060. 8VJT991. And that's Omnitrans engaging in ongoing, but you already know that. They engage in all manner of illegality, monitoring as a bus line. Minors, 5PBR918, okay, sexual violence, incorporating minors in that P.O.C. Oh, yeah. 1545797, bus 2341. 8NED701, 8PLJ84, I can't see that one, you can scratch that. 7GJY159, 8KDF202. Amazon Prime crossing path. Sex offender. 56269V1. It's 6:25 p.m. That's audible activity in directed light. They're all stalking. License 8TIZ281. 8TIZ881, excuse me. 8VZF726. 5YDM841. 8WAP538. Let's see. 8V, I can't see that one. 8TPA226, and I believe I documented that demon earlier. License 7THD122. 8GNX038. This is molestation. All right. License. Oh, this is an ongoing molestation, but this one in particular, 8GNX038, engaging in an ongoing upfront molestation of my person. All right. 8LXJ031. I think I read that one. 8LDF579. It's paper plate. Can't read that. 6EBC259. 8WJR118. 8UXP288. 56269V1. All right, that was a demon. 8GNX038, engaging in molestation. Okay. 8LXJ031. These stalkers. 8UXP288. 6CRA. I can't see the rest of one. 7UTY224. So funny when you're breaking down what the government is doing, and then you have all these false. I mean, you should already know if you have any notion of self-respect and self-identity. Living in California, it's entirely superficial, but not even that. On top of that, you remember the superficiality, people calling themselves cool, people call it like they have stuff going on, and they're stalkers, okay, or riding around in a lowrider like you're a gangster, and you're a stalker, okay, a demon-possessed one. 6LKT333. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. Pathetic. AD28522. And talk about how low it is. You got your little minion children out here monitoring with you. They have nothing to shoot for. 5LJK909. Talk about being done from the beginning. 8UNV899. 6ZTF113. SCHRS18. That is what is so hilarious. That's why you hear me just laughing sometimes, because they're so pathetic. And they're nothing but demons. Demons. The demons. I'm sorry, there's nothing gangster about demons. There's nothing sexy about demons. There's nothing cool about a demon. There's nothing impressive about demons. And let me tell you what demons are. They're followers. They're stalking. All of them are stalking, and they're inferior. And I'm going to prosecute them. And I'm going to show you how uncool and how unimpressive, all right, and how non-gangster they are. I'm going to test that gangster. We're testing it right now, okay? It is currently 6:28 p.m. 7GYP138, I believe. License plate 8UWP728, 6MYZ609. VZY146. 7, I can't see that one. 21375K1, I believe. 7JYK189, 7ZTH433, 6MJU752, 7FMC029. The state is flying over the street by helicopter. I captured that in pictures and I captured that in video. 7LKT333 is hurrying up across the path, all right, after stalking on the sidewalk. Monitoring with the state that's flying over by helicopter, all right, not entirely separate at all. It is 6:29 p.m. and that's another Omnitrans bus loitering and monitoring with minor children. Those demons crossing paths with skateboarders. Omnitrans as a company is engaging in criminal conduct and doing so with kids. 5EV179, monitoring an American citizen, sexually molesting and violating an American citizen, doing so in concert with children engaged in that criminal conduct. 7EXN130. 8HSB312. And thus is the true identity of such companies named Amazon Prime and Omnitrans. All right, that's the true identity, and that's exactly what they're doing. All right. 6:30 p.m. License 112RF. Bunch of ragged demons crossing path. That's a handicap license plate. Oh, I guess I'll keep going. It is 6:30 p.m. I'm going to get these sex offenders over here. Remember, in the same way predators are monitoring you in the bathroom, these are predators that are waiting to touch. This is the whole purpose of the system. And but for knowledge of the pattern of conduct that you're being monitored, you are understanding what is now the legal significance of every method of touching. And let me be clear, this is a method of touching that they anticipate, that they're sitting around waiting for. That's a predator. And that is a sex offender that is stalking and wanting to touch unlawfully. License plate 5MJR827, 8PKF103, 8TZN150, 7XDE199, 3POX751, I believe, 5DVN157. All right, absolutely demented stalkers. All right, these weirdos, light flying all over the place, and then they want to touch you. Those type of freak weirdos touch you, that's what you're going to prosecute for. All right, that's a sort of infliction of suffering that the government shall pay for, and not just monetarily. People are going to federal prison. You do not engage in this sort of terrorism and get to walk free, say you're sorry, or have a criminal record. That's not sufficient. Justice requires more. License 5UTH488. 3UTE394, 8VOT709, 8ELX576, 8HEM, I can't see the rest of that one. Can't see that one. 6SAD861, 7ZQJ899, I believe, or 699. Can't see that paper plate. I can't see this lights. What time is it? It is 6:32 p.m. and the state is flying over by airplane. I mean, this is always the case. I'm just reciting in real time what they're doing. Oh, let me get these for it. 8 RFA 596, 6 YTK 045. Molesters touching. Here comes some more molesters over here. Who is this? 8 XKX333, 7 CMG611. All right, now this is how you know you're being molested. They are aiming headlights on me, but my shadow is headed toward their direction. My shadow would be the opposite direction. That's a sex offender. 7VQG128. That's a sex offender, okay? License. That's how you know you're being violated. 1MB5706. That's impossible light activity, and that's an absolutely demented stalker that is touching all over your body unlawfully in concert with the government. That is tantamount to an orgy that you did not give any consent to be in. All right? None of these psychopaths, and they are psychopaths. Shadows flying, light flying all over the place, enlarged shadows all over the place, and then they want to touch you. You're going to prosecute. You document, you prosecute. 6NLC971. 7PPS399. 34049S2, 8LMP871, 6Y92171. And those predators are waiting to touch. That's the point of the P.O.C. 7PQF707. You have to understand how perverted they are. It's perverted. All right, that desire to touch, that's not normal. That is not okay. It's not lawful. It's serving criminal monitoring. 7CK I can't really see that one. It's serving criminal monitoring, and it is sexually violent. It is sexually violent. That's P.O.C. It's 6:34 p.m. And every documented actor engaged in that, including that group stalker that I captured clearly under the fake sun at the Ontario Town Square, going out of her way to monitor with her kids in her van under that fake sun and in direct light, stepping out to monitor me. She's a part here monitoring and touching all over my body. 78KB437. All right, dragging her this morning under the fake sun is not the end of her prosecution. She's a part of the government's pattern of conduct, which is ceaselessly underway. 6UKB720 is acting in concert with her on her behalf. They're one entity. All right. And like I said, she's going to be dragged for that, engaging in that violence, that sexual violence, everything she's engaging in right now. And she wants to incorporate her children with that. All right. That is one unworthy of remaining in guardianship of such children, placing them in that is danger. OK, because monitoring with the government, that's no light thing. That is serious conduct that she's engaged in, serious criminal conduct that's threatening my life and endangering her own children. All right. And then you're engaging in what is sexual violence and thinking you can do it in the bright of directed light day, fake Sunday, because that ain't the real sun that she's under. She's a psychopath in that position of guardianship, bringing along her kids to engage in criminal conduct. 8LVT746, 7WBN191. And that's how you're going to prosecute a whole entity for the sexual violence. 5NJN547. 8MFBO39. You do not get the casualty engaged in a P.O.C. and then go on your merry way flying down the road. I don't think so. No, this is how the government is acting through all of them, and through all of them are continuously engaging as an entity. They're going to share that prosecution just like they share the pattern of conduct. They have a field day touching all over you. All right? Okay, we're going to have a field day at prosecution. We're going to have a field day. We're going to have a field day. License plate 6CUE 575 8NXX926, and it is currently 6:36 p.m. We're gonna break that all the way down. Break it all the way down. I'm at the Ontario Museum of History and Art. This is P.O.C.
8:41 p.m. That is as I am logged onto internet and on my Spotify account reviewing my podcasts. As I begin doing this, the state flies over audibly. Is always stalking. It's now creating audible activity and communicating a terrorizing threat by flying east over the center of the museum. 8:42 p.m. This is P.O.C. 8:47 p.m. The state flies in the exact same location in the opposite direction. So that is flying over the center of the museum, right in relevant position above me. And remember, I remain in directed light. All right. This is the environment, and this is the ongoing P.O.C. And that is the state that is pacing over me. This is also demonic. This is a demon-possessed stalker and a helicopter pacing back and forth above me. And while they are monitoring on the video of the internet what I'm doing on my phone. Okay, it's 8:47 p.m. and that was, again, flying east, now flying west over the same location over me at the museum. P.O.C. Okay, 8:42 p.m. helicopter, 8:47 p.m. helicopter, 8:50 p.m. sirens. They're monitoring on my phone. It's P.O.C. The environment remains, this is all monitoring conduct. That's why I'm molested in directed light right now, and the fake moon is above the venue. There is no form, there is no emergency. This is stalking by the state, engaging in federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. 22618, subsections 1 and 2. and doing so with simultaneity to what I do on the internet. This is P.O.C. That is American medical response. On the traffic cameras driving north on Euclid Avenue, engaging in federal stalking, engaging in the criminal misuse of those emergency vehicles. That is to be addressed under federal law. And also understand that's a demon-possessed stalker operating that vehicle and need to be snatched out of those positions, right? This is what we are revealing. That's P.O.C. All right, ongoing documentation of what is federal stalking by the entity, engaging in alternating between methods of light activity and audible activity creation while the entity is ceaselessly stalking in the path, monitoring with communication devices, monitoring what I'm doing on the internet. And so you have again at 9:13 p.m. I captured in images what is the state flying over, and this is just repeated. That's patrolling. The state is just repeatedly flying, and this is visibly because the entity is stalking constantly by plane and helicopter. So this is the state that is visibly flying for me to see and hear by helicopter as it is monitoring what I'm doing on the internet. All right, and notably, while I am on the Spotify, which is the host for my podcast. So as I go to that website, then the state starts audibly flying over repeatedly by helicopter. Okay, 8:42 p.m., 8:47 p.m. Does it again at 9:13 p.m., which I capture in images. The state does it again as I am publishing the third-party group Stalker Forced Tree Care Incorporated onto my website. The state is doing this in order to distract from and to terrorize while it's monitoring the fact that I'm publishing this third party onto my website regarding federal stalking and terrorism that I documented on February 18, 2021 at third party facilitating venue Mercy House in Ontario. So the state is flying over again as I'm publishing that information on my website, flying over the same exact location. You have right now I'm capturing in images, which is again, the state is creating light activity. This is engineered light where the state is using police vehicles to create light activity. And this is the form for what is the creation of red, blue, and lights all over the museum building. It is the same exact pattern of conduct. The same exact flashing of light occurring while Union Pacific train is in motion. The state is using the presence of police to create substantial color of police lights on the museum building all over. On the wood, I took a picture of it. You're seeing blue light on the wood right above me. They're flashing red and blue light, which is impossible light activity. That's not going to occur right here next to me. You have what is the presence of red and blue flashing light on the museum wall. And this is directed light. This is engineered light where they are creating light activity. There is no form. This is the environment. This is the ongoing admission that the Ontario police, first of all, are demon-possessed, that they are engaging in federal stalking. There is no form. Whoever it is that they are engaging in stalking, they are a third party, a demon-possessed stalker. They are monitoring together in a demonic environment, engaging in the elements of monitoring together. And that is the bottom line. And that is also the fourth to fifth effort of what is directly stalking by helicopter and by law enforcement and the fire department and AMR. Okay, it is 10:05 p.m. and that I did capture the Ontario police engaging in that act of terrorism. That is P.O.C.